It's amazing. All of these little greebles are exactly in the same spot that they are on the set back there. That's pretty impressive. Hello, Clumsy. Welcome. I'm obsessing over the Lego Millennium Falcon, even though, like, I literally have it right behind me. So, you know, this is an interesting way for people to be able to experience the UCS Millennium Falcon without having to buy it, right? Just buy this $60 game instead. Yeah, but it's in a video game, exactly. It's better? Maybe. Get wrecked. Oh. I'll one-up Jesus. I don't care. I don't hope that your Friday is just good. I hope that your Friday is great. These look like our iconic heroes. C-3PO and R2-D2. Is Clumsy still here? Good. Don't show her this clip.
Now let's look down.
I don't invert my look on mouse, so
Seems fine.
you don't have to worry, Ian.
Let's try right. And now left.
What happens if I go right? His face. Okay.
Your visor feed and motor function seem to be operational,
Sort of.
but it looks like there's a problem with this.
The zoo goes off the grid. A spokesperson for the zoo was excited to announce a partnership with Wind Power Incorporated to undertake construction of green energy facilities at the zoo. The local power station conglomerate CEO had this to say: "We do not approve of people generating their own power and not buying it from us. That's because executives like me earn millions of dollars every year for doing nothing much, and this threatens my decadent way of life." I hate to cut the clip short, but I kind of want to get going today. I hope you understand. Good morning. Welcome. There it is. Welcome to the Saturday morning Lego stream. For those of you who are up this early, hi, I see you. It is a weekend, which a lot of people enjoy sleeping in on a weekend, but not you. Not you, not me. Bebo is also here. Bebo is our new droid in, I almost said training. He's in beta. There we go. That's what it is. He's in beta. I'm currently working on him to try to get him a little bit more active in chat with some much cooler commands. But I'll talk about that a little bit later on. How's that sound? I have a lofty goal today, and that goal is to try to finish 8 panels. 8. And that is lofty because we had been finishing one about every 30 minutes, typically, other than last week. Last week I just talked so much. Maybe a bit much. Who am I to say? Instructions. I need the instructions up right here. Yes, please and thank you. All right, there we go. Okay, here we go. I am going to make a conscious effort to be building most, if not all, of the time that I'm here with you. That is my goal. Oh, I hope you had a great week. This week was incredibly stressful. Well, okay, no. I take that back. It was definitely not the most stressful my work has ever been. There was stress involved, but I think I'm learning to manage that a lot better lately. If this had been 6 months to a year ago, I probably would have crumbled under it. But because this was happening now when it happened, I feel a little bit more equipped. I feel kind of like I could take it on, you know? Yeah. And there's probably a bunch of stuff that, what's the word I'm looking for? Probably a bunch of stuff that plays into that. Obviously doing the working out, I think, has helped. And that's one thing this week that I'm proud of myself for. The old me, when things got stressful, I think the old me would have probably during a stressful week like this made an excuse that, because it's so stressful, I don't need to work out this week. And then I think that sets me down a course of, what's a good word for it? My mind is still not running at peak efficiency right now, if you can't tell. Would have made a bunch of excuses for myself. And then it would have been this cycle of just making excuses, you know, and not doing what I was supposed to do. Or not doing what I know helps me, right? Because I really do think it helped me get through the week. I've just been feeling more confident, feeling a little bit more like myself. And that's just been nice, you know? Things are leveling out for sure. So it's not like all high highs, but, you know, it feels like when things do get rough, I don't crumble like I have in the past. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's a little bit about what's been going on my week. I'm going to focus a little bit here on building because I really kind of, it's not that I want to be done with this project. That's not the right way to say it. Is my camera, I'm sitting really far off, aren't I? Hold on a second. Circle cam. Yeah, why are you doing that to me? I should be centered. There you go. And then back to, that's not the Lego scene I was thinking it was. There we go. That's better. What was I saying? Who knows? Who even knows at this point? Who cares? Let's just build it. We'll be building like a fever pitch today. So as I was saying, it's not that I want to be done with this project per se. Not like I want to rush through and be like, I hate it, I'm having a horrible time. But there's a lot of stuff I'd like to do. Part of it is also, it's kind of nice though to have had this kind of big project to where for the last, 4, 5, 6 weeks, I haven't really had to think too much about like what I'm doing on Saturday morning, It's nice to have that kind of pre-prepared content to always know that like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And I'll get back to that, even once I finish this project, and I decide on the next project, I think I'll get back to that eventually, but we'll see. I wouldn't mind doing a few small projects that we could finish in like one or two streams, but I like the big projects. I like doing things that I don't know if anyone else would be doing. Sets me apart a little bit. At least I hope so. Okay, we're making great progress on this one. I better start putting my mouse down here for where I am, because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5. I just grabbed a handful of blacks, so I was like, I gotta at least put these down. 2. Ooh, oh shoot. Oh shoot. Then goes 5s again. So far, my Notion nights have been going well. Notion nights are where I've been writing down ideas for the stream, and then at least once a week, if not a little bit more, but at least once a week, I dedicate a little bit of time to work on stream stuff. I gotta tell you though, so there's usually Thursday nights when I do that. But I gotta tell you, last Thursday, hey, how you doing? Last Thursday, I usually watch Spooky stream. Spooky Deer, if you're not following Spooky Deer, you should be. What are you doing? But I have to admit, last Thursday I was watching his stream and working on some bot stuff, working on stuff for Bebo, which, by the way, good morning, Bebo. How you doing? I'll talk to you in just a moment, okay? But I was listening and watching his stream on my other monitor, and to say I got distracted would be an understatement. Understatement of the year, understatement of the decade, really. It got a little off the rails. He was supposed to play a game, and I feel a little bit bad about it because I think he was trying to make a YouTube video out of it. But somehow it got derailed into a daddy tier list. Not entirely my fault, I think. It was a group effort. But yeah, so I did it still. I did still get, I was still working on the bot, but I didn't work on it as much as I probably should have, I think I'm just going to go all 3 of these since I have these. Okay. But it was great fun. It was really great fun. Anyway, yeah, Bebo, how the heck are you? I gotta work on Bebo, like, being able to, like, call and respond based on the context of what's in the chat. That's gonna be kind of hard, though. That's like Chat GPT. Bebo is not that advanced. Bebo is just kind of a run-of-the-mill bot. So I wouldn't really expect things like that out of the old Beebs. I know Nidalicious is working on his bot using more AI, which I think is most likely the future of Twitch bots for sure, is some sort of learning AI that can learn your Twitch chat and the people who come in your Twitch chat and the regulars and inside jokes and stuff like that. 100%, that's going to be a big change in at least that aspect of AI. Wait. Okay, now the last one of these. 5s. But anyway, Bebo. So Bebo is going to have some conversation starters loaded up. And when things are kind of at a lull, what I'm hoping is that Bebo will chime in and give us some topics to talk about, which it looks like he has. So hello, Bebo. The question is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie? That's a hard question for me, honestly. One, because sometimes it kind of ebbs and flows a little bit. If I had to pick right now, whoa, holy cow, that scared the crap out of me. At last we will have revenge. Whoa. Okay, sorry. I just didn't see that coming. I'm used to it already have been being redeemed.
Miss you.
Hi, Lars. Holy cow. I just about jumped out of my skin there. Hopefully that wasn't too obvious. But hey, look at this. So we now have not only the sound redeem, but Bebo is paying attention to the Phantom Menace. So far, the only thing with that I need to still figure out is how he tracks it, right? So every time like you redeem it, I think he's going to like add a line to a file, and then you could queue up that file and it would say Lars has been the Phantom Menace X amount of times. And then we could like do a command that would pop up and say, you could say exclamation point Phantom, right? And it would tell you how many times you've been the Phantom Menace. So I'm looking forward to that. That probably is not far away. I'm slowly but surely figuring that part out. But anyway, congratulations. Thank you for the scare. It's just so much louder than I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, that's part of what I worked on. Light gray. Then 4 blacks. Now I'm really gonna try this morning, Lars, to build as much as possible, because I'd really love to either be done with the tiles this morning or at least incredibly close to it. I think what's going to happen is we're going to get incredibly close, and then I'll be like, I have to go because I got to get my day going, because we do have some stuff going on today. So that's my fear. But even at that, even if I get that close to it, I think I'll be okay with it. Because then at least I'll kind of know how many streams are left. I'm thinking an entire stream to put this thing together might be warranted. Because I don't have the space to kind of put it together now. So all these tiles are just stacked up over here. But anyway, how are you? I was gonna have things going on, but it's a bad brain day instead. That stinks, but I understand. I've had those. Sometimes you just wake up and your brain's like, we're not gonna do things today. And perhaps a lot of times it's a good idea to like stretch yourself and push beyond those feelings, but then there are some days where it's probably the best to listen to them. Listen to what your body's telling you, you know? It's a fine balance, and I can't tell you that I've been able to strike it, because I haven't. I haven't been able to figure it all out in my life either, so you do what you gotta do. Meaner Stoopfer? Hello. Good morning. So I'm going to stream Brick Tales later on. I guess you never know. I know you might not feel it right now. Like you might feel that like, ugh, I really don't want to be on. But if it's going to be later today, just give it some time before you decide, you know? You might feel differently even just in a couple hours. But if you don't, no big deal, right? Everybody wants you to be at your tip top, at your best, you know? So if you're not feeling it, then no pressure. No pressure. It's really weird. It's a really weird feeling when there's something that you want to do that you know you love to do, um, and yet your brain kind of shuts you down from it. Just want to do some bricking. Exactly. Just want to build. Just want to chill with my friends. Just want to talk to people. Just want to be social with people. It's something you love to do, but then your brain just kind of self-sabotages you, 100% been there, especially when it comes to streaming. Like I've said before, I came very close to just shutting it all down, just being like, I'm not going to do this anymore. Really close. And it's so weird to be going from doing something so long. I've been doing this for a long time now, like since early 2021. I really kind of wish I had started during COVID, but I also had a new baby at the time too, so it was a little hard to dedicate more time. But it's so weird to have something that I've done for so long pretty consistently to all of a sudden just have this thing just feel so draining on me and feel, I hate to say toxic. It wasn't the thing itself. It was just the way I was perceiving it. I was streaming during the week, and I think that was a big part of it. I think that was a big part of it because, I'd be working all day, taking care of work at a fairly high pressure job, and then also making sure I take care of my family and my kids. And then like trying to then put on to myself the fact that I should be making content, Oh, I should be making content. I should be, because it was what I like to do it, but it became another source on top of all the other stuff that I had going on that it started to not be fun anymore. And so around about Christmas time last year, I was really about to hang it up and just be like, I think I'm just done. Kids, did I say kids with an S? I only have one kid, and probably going to stay that way. There's so many things about being a parent that it's not that you don't think about it, you just don't realize what an impact it's going to be until it happens. I've been on here for over 6 years. Yeah, I mean, I streamed back in 2013, 2014. On this channel too, there's even some, if you go back in the clips, there's some old clips of a couple games that I used to play. I think that's about the only thing that still exists from that time. I don't even think I have any VODs or anything of those, but yeah, so it's not that I hadn't streamed before, but I'm talking like it was like 2021 when I really started doing it consistently. So yeah, 2013, 2014, casually, and then there's a time where I just didn't have a computer that could handle it. It was really expensive that early to be doing stuff like that. But yeah. But I would say for the last 2-ish years, taking it very seriously, Inconsistently though, but I relate to the drain. Yeah. Wait, were you answering Bebo to who shot first? I hope not. I hope not. The incessant drive to make content is terrible. I've had to stop myself so many times, and I've started feeling that pull again, and I'm resisting it. So I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. You were answering Bebo? Oh man, that's rough. I'm sorry. Yikes. Trying to think of how to put this. I look at all this advice, and I appreciate advice from people that I know and trust, like Spooky, giving great advice. I appreciate that. And a lot of the advice is like, oh, you should be making more content, like, you know, in order to get more eyeballs on your stuff. And it's like, I know that they're right. But I don't really like the person that I am when I'm concentrating on only promoting myself. When I'm concentrating on building a brand. You know, some of that has slowly evolved over the years, right? With minimal effort. And I'm not saying I don't want to put effort into this thing, because obviously I've put effort into it. But I want to put effort into the things I want to put effort into. I don't want to have to feel like I have to go make accounts on every other social media platform and then spread my work to all of those other platforms. That just sounds so stupid to me. I'm sorry. I know that they're right when they tell me like that's how you are going to grow. I know they're right. But like I don't know if I want to grow that way. And that could mean that this thing, whatever this is that I'm doing, doesn't ever go beyond what this is right now. And if I found myself being like okay with that, then why am I messing with it? Why am I trying to make it into something that I don't really want it to be? Like, do I want like 60,000 people in here right now? Is that something I really want? Like, I wouldn't want that in my real life. Like, I wouldn't want at work, I wouldn't want to be in front of a crowd of 60,000 people hanging on my word, judging every little thing that I say, you know? I wouldn't want that in my real life. So why am I, like, that's not something that fits my personality. So why would I want to chase that online either? At the same time, you're telling me, you're sitting here and you're telling me that this wouldn't be an absolutely fun career to have. That if I could turn something like this into like something that supports my family, come on. Like that would obviously be great. But am I willing to put in, am I willing to sacrifice the pieces of myself that it would require? That's a black piece. The pieces of myself it would require in order to do that, you know? And yeah, that incessant drive to make content, I just don't like the way it feels. So I'm even struggling with it right now. I wanted to do something about Bricktails. I love that game so much. It was a lot of fun. I wanted to do some sort of like, okay, well, I'll do a video review. I'll do a review on YouTube. And I started thinking about like, well, okay, what's this review going to be like? What kind of format am I going to do it in? I don't want to just do a review video. Like, I don't want to just put something out just to put something out, even though that's the predominant advice. It's like, it's not going to be perfect right now. You should just it should just be quantity over quality. And the quantity over quality advice, sorry, I hate it. I hate it. I know that you shouldn't be a perfectionist, but also the things you put out, you should have like, you shouldn't have to sacrifice your artistic vision for a Lego Bricktails video. You shouldn't have to sacrifice that just to get content out, just to be like, I gotta make content. There's something about that attitude I just really don't like. So if I know that most of this stuff is luck related. So like, yeah, you're there putting in the hard work and then you hit your lucky break, right? And things start taking off. That may not ever happen for me and for this, but at least I enjoy what I'm doing right now, right? And if I suddenly get an epiphany about how I would like to do a video related to Bricktails, and I do said video and I'm proud of it, great. But I just can't bring myself to force it. Like, I keep on thinking to myself, I should already have had this video out. I'm wasting time. I'm losing daylight on this. Even though, like, that game's been out for a while. It's not like I'm trying to, like, game the algorithm and make sure that I have a Brick Tales video up before anybody else, you know? Or that a lot of people will be searching for Brick Tales in the algorithm. So it's like there's no rush, really, when you really think about it, other than my own expectations I'm putting on myself. You know? That's the only rush. Anyway, I'm with you. It just, there's just something about it, you know? Panel number 1, again, 30 minutes. I can't get it any faster than 30 minutes. I'm trying my best. Almost exactly 30 minutes, because my just starting screen was about a minute or two. I can't seem to do it. I feel like I was going pretty fast on that one too. We'll see if the second one is any faster. Now that I'm like in the zone. Yeah, 30 minutes is about what I have been doing, but I'm trying to go faster today and it's not happening. It might just be the limitation of my fingers and my brain, you know? I may not be able to go any faster than that. But yeah, I don't know. The world has enough content creators in it. And I'm sure all of us would love to be able to like support ourselves and our families on doing things like this, but you know, I don't know. I just don't know if I want to do it the typical way. Yeah. What about you? Like, do you have dreams, Lars, of a streaming career blowing up? Or are you just kind of like in it for the ride too? Looks like is there a bit of a lightsaber over here? I guess maybe it's the very bottom of the lightsaber. In it for the ride, especially now. But you also would probably admit that, like, if it did turn into something like that, that'd be cool, right? Do I need to up my mic a little bit? I messed with the mic from after yesterday's stream. I had to mess with the mic a little bit. But let me know. If it's too low, I will absolutely change it. It would be extremely awesome. Yeah. But like, you know, do you want to like turn into one of those like content churning machines or not? I don't know. At the end of the day, we got to be true to ourselves, right? I think that people could tell. I've met the people. I've met the people who you can tell are trying to be, you know, quote unquote content makers, or I don't know what you call it. They're trying to turn everything into content. I've met those people. And they're fine people. They're wonderful people, but I feel like you can tell. And am I going to look back and like feel like I should have put more effort into this? I don't know. I don't think so, because even if I did put that amount of effort into it, the chances of anything like crazy like that happening are very, very small. Very small. You're burnt out again at the moment? Yeah, it happens. It's hard to be... I mean, there's a reason why right now I'm only doing essentially one camera stream a week. And I'm doing the morning coffee hours because I like that morning burst of energy before work. And I like the games that we're playing. That's the biggest thing. Soon as I felt that about Lego Worlds, as soon as I felt like this is not taking me places, it's not, I'm not really having fun with it. I knew that I'd have to change it or I wouldn't do the coffee streams anymore. So I'm so glad that everybody else is also kind of like, It's hard to tell why sometimes. It is. It could just be that it just is what it is. You're burned out from being on. I know for me, if I don't have time to like recharge my social batteries, I'm gonna burn out too. It's also another reason why I don't stream Sunday mornings. I technically have the time on Sunday mornings to get in a couple hours. But I noticed that if I took up all of my free time with streaming, then I don't feel great. I gotta have that downtime. I gotta have that me time. And so like Sunday mornings, I love. Sunday mornings, I still get up early, but I come into this office. I keep the lights low. I don't have all these fancy lights on here. If I'm into a current season of Destiny, I boot up some Destiny. I make some coffee. I throw up a YouTube video or a podcast up on my other screen. And for like 3 hours in the morning, I get to just like do whatever I want. Kind of just let the morning take me where it will. It sounds weird, but it's true. And I have this thing that I do Sunday that on most Sundays that I find to be extremely rewarding. Being able to do it as work would be amazing. Yeah. It would be. So Sunday morning, so I'll do that. Like I'll play some Destiny, right? And then eventually I'll hit a wall and I'll be like, all right, I've done what I wanted to do this morning. I'm kind of burnt out right now on playing. So I need to walk away from my screen. So I'll get up and I'll go out. Everybody else in the house at this point is still asleep. I mean, we're probably talking that this is now 6:30 to 7 a.m. if I've woken up at 5. And then I will basically do that. Recently, I didn't realize that I was doing this, but recently I think I've coined the term for it. I call it my ADHD mornings. Where I will basically just wander the house and do what strikes me in the moment. So a lot of times I'll be like, all right, I'm thirsty. I'll go out to the fridge to grab a drink and I'll be like, ooh, my workout area, I've been using it all this week. It needs to be tidied up. So I'll just tidy up the workout area, sweep the carpet, vacuum, clean off all the workout equipment that I've sweated on profusely and just be done with that. And then like I might walk back into the kitchen and be like, oh, here's a couple of dishes to put away, a couple of or trash to take out, right? Here's the trash I need to take out. And I'll do this all like kind of unconsciously, just whatever strikes me in the moment. And I'll usually be like listening again. I'll like put a podcast or something on and I'll be listening to something as I just kind of wander the morning. You do that too? I love it. I actually didn't think about it too much until just recently. I don't even remember what struck me as odd about it, but then all of a sudden I was like, I really like doing this. What is this? What am I doing right now? And it was just like, just letting myself just kind of, letting myself bask in unstructured productivity. The currents take you. Yes, the currents. That's a great way to put it too. Yeah, I don't know why. It's the house is quiet, it's peaceful. I love the feeling of like, I don't do anything like super deep, like deep cleaning or anything like that. Last week I cleaned the bathroom though, kind of on a whim. And I think I might do that each week now too. Just like a nice little bathroom reset, But if I had to plan that, right? If I had a to-do list, I'd be far less likely to do it. Like I'd probably still get it done if I had to, But But if this was a to-do list, okay, every Sunday I'm going to take out the trash. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But instead, no, what I do is I just allow myself to kind of like exist in the space and let what I see dictate what I'm going to do for the next like hour or so, you know? And I love it. I'll skip from task to task. It's something that like I try to control my mind too much during the week. I try to control like, okay, I'm focused on this, and my mind will wander, and I'll have to be like, come back, focus on this, come back, focus on this. And so for like once a week, it's nice to just like not to kind of exist in a space where you're not judging your brain and trying to pull it back from something, because I don't have any obligations that morning. I could do whatever I want. If I wanted to just sit on the couch and stare at the wall, I could do that. I don't, but I could, you know. I could do that if I wanted to. But what's nice is just kind of, there's so many places in the world where you can't do that, where you do have to like, you know, get yourself back on rails. So it's nice to be able to do that sometimes. Peaceful quiet is why I live alone now, to be honest. Yeah, I get you. Don't get me wrong. I love my family. I wouldn't change that ever. Hold up, did I mess it up? No, I didn't mess it up. Okay. But I gotta tell you, living alone, the bachelor days, which for me were actually fairly short because I lived at home a long time. But like, you know, that first apartment by yourself, or yeah, those are good days. Those are great days. I loved it. I love what I do now more, but I can understand somebody who's like, I just want to live like this all the time. I get it. Tons of trauma from living with my mom. Well, so I lived with 10 people. Sorry, I'm not trying to one-up your story. I apologize. But just to show that I can relate to it, I lived with 10 people in a very religious household. There was 8 siblings altogether. And always something going on, always something chaotic happening. And so I was always the one essentially hiding in my room. And that's where I think it came from for me too. Just too much going on. My brain couldn't handle. I needed to like withdraw. And most people saw that as me being like rude or something. And it's like, no, it just, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they used to call it hiding. I would get not yelled at, but yelled at for hiding. Like, all you do is you just hide in your room. You don't want to be a part of this. You just hide in your room. And it's like, I didn't see it as hiding. I didn't see it as like, it's not like I hated them. I just needed something different than the rest of them needed. I didn't need to be surrounded by people. I needed to have alone time, you know? Whereas I think for probably a lot of my siblings, they need to have like people around. I feel like they feel weird. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like they thrive. They thrive on like being together. And I like being with people, but I also like being by myself sometimes too, you know? I don't think that's bad. So whereas it was seen as like a negative, and that's why like I cringe at the word hiding, it is technically true. But it wasn't like I was cowering in my room like, oh, I hate these people. It wasn't like that. But my mom's kind of unstable and not a nice person. I gathered. Yeah. That's how I messed up my relations with food as well. Yep. Just hiding out, not going down to the kitchen, especially since we didn't have set family meal times in the end. Yeah. That'll do it. Different for everybody. I mean, I just wanted time to do what I wanted to do, you know? I know I've told this story before too, but like I would wake up early on Saturdays and I would be building Lego. I remember distinctly, you know, trying to like pour out my Lego collection from its bin in the quietest way possible, so as not to wake anybody else in the house up. And that I'm convinced to this day is why I like mornings like this. why I like the weekend mornings, because they just remind me of that time. And probably why I like just kind of piddling around the house and doing whatever feels right in the moment, because that's just kind of what I did as a kid. And just quietly pour out the collection and then try to build something, I just like it. I like being up and around when no one else is, but I don't like that same feeling at night. I prefer it in the early mornings. I get too tired. Yeah, man, the stuff we go through as kids, just pretty wild. It's like I want to strive to make sure that Zeke doesn't grow up with these same insecurities and stuff. At least not any that are like, bad or caused by me, especially. Like, that, and sorry, let me get to a point here. There we go. Okay. Morning awakeness is amazing. It's somehow fresher. Yeah. I feel more like myself in the beginning of the day. I do my best work in the morning. I'm in my best mental state in the morning. I'm hopeful. I'm energetic. I'm not like one of those crazy morning people who are like, "Yeah, good morning," but like I don't know. I like mornings. As long as I slept well the night before, it's somehow fresher. Even though I feel like that's also kind of moralizing times of the day. We definitely don't need to moralize it. I got over pretty quickly this idea of like what it's supposed to be. So like Mrs. Nonder and I like are two polar opposites in this regard, but we make it work. She's a night owl, 100%. She's up late every night, and that is her time. That is the time that she feels the most alert, the most at peace, and she can do the things she wants to do. She's even started gaming recently too. So like she play games. She'll sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and the whole kitchen will be clean. So she'll just take some time to clean up the kitchen, get everything kind of just set up for her. She told me she likes to like have the living room and kitchen be clean so that she can just kind of focus on doing what she wants to do instead. So I feel like for her, it's the nighttime. So, we go to bed at like wildly different times. I go to bed pretty early. She comes in late. She sleeps in sometimes a little bit longer. It's just, that's what works for her. So we make it work, She can sleep in a little bit longer on the weekends because I can always go get the boy. She usually gets him on Saturdays due to the stream, but Sundays I'm usually going to get him. And then if he wakes up and I go get him and then I bring him down, she's still sleeping. And then Zeke and I get to spend some time together in the morning, have some breakfast. A lot of times I'll continue kind of my whole ADHD wandering at that point because, he'll be eating his breakfast or something. So I'll start washing down counters or doing something like that. It's good times. I don't know. I've been thinking about how people treat people who don't follow the normal 9-to-5 lifestyle. Yeah, exactly. If you could flip it on its head for Mrs. Nonder, I think she would. Yeah. Circadian rhythms. There's also just, some people just have a harder time due to a whole lot of factors, falling asleep, staying asleep. And there isn't anything like morally wrong with them, There's like not a thing. Somebody like me who like I find very, very little trouble sleeping, I know like infuriates some people because they have such a hard time with sleep and it comes so easy for me, at least currently. That could always change as I get older. And that's the thing too, is like it does change as you get older. So like we're demoralizing people when they're like, oh, I'm so tired. It's like, well, what time did you go to bed? And it's like, well, I went to bed when my body told me I could go to bed, you know? When my body finally allowed me and my mind finally slowed down enough. And then there's a bunch of factors in that too. That could be anything ranging from diet and exercise to a chemical imbalance to you name it. So it's really hard to like moralize people on that scale, you know. Good morning, Charles. How you doing? Happy weekend. How was your week this week? How was work going? I know that project is still kind of inching closer to the finish line, right? Getting there slowly but surely. You still have a lot of bad feelings about not having a proper rhythm. You know, the word proper is like, I feel like I hope at least that when you do sleep, you're getting enough sleep and that you can function better because of it. But outside of that, like, I don't care. Who cares? You know? I'm on meds for sleeping at the moment, but I wonder if I should alternately try to just go for my own cycle. You can definitely try. You can definitely try to mix things up if you'd like, but also understanding that if you need to be on a certain rhythm and or medication to not be so hard on yourself about it, that it's just, you know, it is what it is. You got to deal with it how you need to deal with it. And nobody else should be able to judge you for that. I just lost my instructions. Sorry. Here we go. That one. Beepity boop. You want to play a game? Oh. Bebo. I don't know what you're talking about, but no? No? Okay. Oh no, he's becoming Saw, right? I guess Bebo's just bored. Can't relate to us talking about sleep, you know? Just simply cannot relate. Blue. Okay. Oh, hey. It wasn't as bad as I expected. Oh, good. We seem to be more ready for cutover than I thought we'd be. Excellent. Also got kudos from another team for spotting a problem with the full mock that's currently going on and fixing it before they ran into it. Nice. He's going to be sentient anytime now. I don't think Bebo will be that fancy anytime soon. I don't think I'm going to take him the full chat GPT route. At least not yet. I do have some plans, though. I have some plans related to hopefully the next thing that we're going to build, maybe? Hey, it's Kuro. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Happy weekend. It's the freaking weekend. I think that's where I need to stop on that one. Troj, hello, good evening. I hope you're doing well. What the heck you up to today? Okay. 2 more blue? Yep. Look at that. See, I'm telling you, no matter how much I try, doing one every 30 minutes is about as good as I can do. That was actually a little bit faster than 30 minutes, though. So that's not too bad. Really terrible today, but things are looking up. Yeah. Nightmares, 24 minutes roughly. Okay, not bad. Let's keep the streak going. There's that. Okay, this one just has some pins in the bottom. We're rounding the finish line. We're rounding the base? Rounding the finish line. That's not... Well, maybe. I guess if you're running on a track, you could round the finish line. I don't sports very much, and I definitely don't run. Shin splints. I tore my arch in college. You've heard these stories. Oh, let's see. Yes, definitely take care of yourself. Drink some water. Take a nap. Look at that. Bebo is like telling Lars exactly what she needs. I can't. I've had my share of just, scary dreams, right? But from my understanding, nightmares are way worse. And especially if they like cross over a little bit, like if you're like half asleep, oof, that's terrifying to me. Terrifying. When I have them is usually when I'm stressed about something in real life. Yeah, that's potential. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, I love how we support each other here, It isn't just about the Lego. It's about taking care of each other, being there to hear each other out. One included Fro saying all kinds of slurs, and he's the last person I'd imagine doing that. Holy cow. Yeah. Just, wow. Speaking of which, I saw his announcement this morning. I posted like last night. I need to talk to him because I can relate to what he's going through so much. And that cutting back is not a bad idea. And I also cut back on mine for like the same reasons. This is why I don't stream like every weeknight like I was doing like 2 years ago. I was live almost every night. Almost. And that definitely burnt me out. So good on him for recognizing the pattern before it became an issue. Like, good job. I should definitely DM him. Let him know that. I can 100% relate to that. Things got intense. Oh no. So we don't need to like philosophize it, but it's a friend, somebody you look up to, who did something that is out of character, so it surprised you, right? Did something that you'd probably find personally insulting, so kind of like a betrayal, cutting pretty deep. There could be something there, right? I would love to dissect people's dreams. I wonder sometimes if I didn't miss my calling to be like a therapist or something. I'd have to get my own life together first before I could do that. If Ro doesn't respond to DMs right away, it's because he forgets. I do the same thing. You might have to TPDM him a bit more. That's fine. I see two things in that, Lars. One is that someone was doing something that disappointed you, and the other is that a friend who did something out of character. Exactly. Yeah. It's like dreams are also incredibly complicated too, because like you said, there's a lot of stuff that could kind of play into that. And there are also times where you just have a dream and it's just like, that was just my mind just going nuts. So I was probably on some weird DMT inspired, not external DMT, internal DMT inspired dream trip that doesn't really have to make sense. I don't think every dream has to make sense. I think sometimes the brain is just kind of like dumping info that it's had throughout the day, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything moral. Doesn't mean anything's wrong. Doesn't mean anything's bad. It could just be your brain needed to dump all these chemicals, you know. Which, as I understand it, is kind of what our brains do during sleep. As it's processing information, just all these hormones and chemicals are flowing through and dumping and releasing endorphins and the different I'm trying to think of the word, the different chemicals that like make us actually like lose consciousness and fall asleep, you know. In psychology class in high school, we learned how to dissect dreams. That's cool. Yeah. See, I don't know. I just wonder what would be different for me if I had just like gone a more traditional route with my schooling, like high school. I would have loved a class like that. Even at that age, I would have been like, this is cool. This is cool. Could just be that I watched him yesterday and he said he wants to do Pride Month charity streams. That could be. That could be. Yeah. That could be. All right, next one, 333. Yeah, I really, I should just, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. I just like the idea of being a therapist so much. I like the idea of helping people in a way that's like unique and in a way like by helping people, you're also learning more about yourself. Like I got to tell you, there's a show on Apple TV called Shrinking. Harrison Ford is in it. And Jason Segel. And it's a great show. And it's about he's a therapist who definitely doesn't have his life together. And I don't think that every therapist will and does, but I have a bad feeling about this. I don't think every therapist will, but they're like going through their own stuff also while they're trying to help other people, and they end up learning a lot about themselves and about how they should be treating their own lives by giving advice to other people about their life. Like it lets you kind of disconnect yourself from you and see yourself and your problems more objectively and feel like you can handle them because you didn't like, they're no longer your problems, right? They're someone else's. So you see the solution so clearly. And then you can turn around and be like, well, that also applies to your life, you know? It's okay, Bebo. Yeah. It is good. I really like it. I like it a lot. It's like funny. It's by Bill Lawrence, who did Scrubs. Well, he's one of the people involved in it. And for the first time, like I feel like I enjoy Harrison Ford. Sometime past, you know, as Harrison got a little bit older, I just didn't. He seemed like he was kind of sick and tired of doing everything. He definitely went through a phase, I think, where what he presented to the world, at least, was him just being gruff and kind of tired and sick of it all, right? And didn't really want to do what was in front of him, especially when it came to Star Wars. But in this, I feel like his character's a little gruff, right? A little rough around the edges, but he also shows this really unique depth to a character like that I just never really thought I'd get from Harrison Ford. It's so unique. Because I thought at first, I was like, okay, he's just gonna play a really gruff old turd, and I'm gonna dislike him more than I already do, and that's gonna make me sad because I love Han Solo Harrison Ford. Like I like that, But yeah, no, it seems like he actually wants to be there and wants to be included in this role and isn't just there necessarily for the paycheck. And I think you can tell. I really do. And it also makes me a little hopeful for the new Indiana Jones because I was kind of like, I don't need that in my life. I still don't think it was 100% necessary, but I'm interested to see it because of this. Like, it feels like there's a spark inside of him again. And I don't know what did it. I'd be interested in knowing that, if that's how he feels. If something changed, but it feels like something changed. I have a very frequent nightmare where I'm stuck outside and there's snakes everywhere. I have to watch where I step. What do you think that means? That dream usually occurs when I'm dealing with something complicated at work. Okay, so the snakes are literal, like, you're stepping around issues, problems, stepping around, getting in trouble, maybe. Because if you get bit by that snake, you did something wrong. And I could see that. Like, yeah, I could see that. I don't dream a ton. When I do, they're pretty bizarre. I've had... I don't really have reoccurring dreams. Oh, no, I take that back. I do have a reoccurring dream. You want to hear my reoccurring dream? Okay, it hasn't happened in a while. And I'd have to really think about what's going on in my life at the time to figure out what it means. But I think it's pretty obvious, I guess. Okay, so I have this reoccurring dream that in my current, wherever I am in my current life, so like if I had this dream last night, it would be I have my current job, I'm married to my wife, I have a kid, everything in my life is the same. And I'm going to try to keep it all the same as it is in like real life, right? Except for some unknown, God-forsaken reason, I decide that it's important for me to go back to college. I didn't finish college, so there's something there, right? Okay, there's like an unfinished, like what if I would have finished? That makes sense, right? But what doesn't make sense is that not only do I decide out of the blue that I want to finish college, I also decide that I'm going to go back to my old Bible college to do so. The place that arguably set me down a path of like questioning my entire religion and was just like a toxic place. That I never, like in real waking life, would never want to go back to. But for some reason in this dream that occurs maybe a couple times a year, I find myself back in that dorm. And I'm constantly thinking, okay, I've got to make it to my class. But oh no, did I tell my boss that I couldn't work today? And whoever my current boss is, that'll be in the dream as well. Like, okay, how am I going to balance going to class and keeping my job at my company? How am I going to do that? And there'll just be so much like anxiety and stuff that comes up with me trying to be like, how did I do this? How did I do this? Why did I come back here again? And then eventually in the dream, I'll go, I can't do this. And I don't want to do this anymore. And I'll do this big grandiose like walkout again. And I'll be like, I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back. And for some reason within my dream, then the next time I dream it, it's almost like I'll remember that I did that, and I'll kind of come slinking back again and be like, oh, I'm going to try it one more time. I just really need to, even though in my dream, I still kind of have a memory that I've done this before. So it truly is a reoccurring dream in that the dream kind of builds on top of itself, even though I never seem to learn that I don't need to go back to that place. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And it's always like, it's not like I'm thinking about me when I was younger. It's always me in my current age, in my current circumstances. And for some reason, I just keep coming back, and I'll like miss classes and I'll get all anxious about that. And then if I'm in a class, I'll be anxious about missing work. Like, so dissect away. Dissect away. Um, that's how you'd interpret it for the snakes. Yeah. Another one is showing up for an English exam and not remembering ever going to class. See, I don't have that one. I have like I made the decision to go back myself, but then was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? You sound okay. So I feel like you were gonna go this direction. You sound like you regret never finishing your degree, but have reservations about how doing it would affect things now. Not really. Now I realize a lot of this could be like subconscious. So even though I say no right now, that might not actually be true. Like I don't have any in my waking hours. I don't have any desire to go back to school. Not even a little bit. I don't even know how I would. So maybe it's just the idea that like I knew I wouldn't do it. So I don't know. And why wouldn't I make up, I guess it's because it's the only experience I had, but why wouldn't I make up like a completely different school to go to? Like if I was going to go back to school, I would actually get a degree in something that mattered and not in the Bible college, the ultra conservative, frankly, racist Bible college that I went to. Yes, the dean, the guy who leads it, is a racist. I could show you clips, especially against Muslims. But like, wait, hang on. I'm losing track. Hold on. Oop, I think it's just this piece right here that is wrong. Okay. Something didn't look right. So it's like, I would never, I plan on never even stepping foot near that church and or college like ever again. Ever. So it's weird that like I keep bringing myself back to that. I think if the dream had ended a different way, if I had gone back and then I like told everybody off and I like gave them the middle finger and, pushed over bookshelves and stuff like that, I could understand that because it's like, okay, well, you want to go back to like, shove it in their faces or something like that. But no, it's always like I'm becoming. It's like I'm re-becoming that compliant little boy who did what mommy and daddy told him to do. Oh, shoot. That might be it. Like, my fear is, like, going back to that little scared kid. What am I thinking of? Who, like, just did what was expected of him, and then my other life fighting that back and being like, no, like I am a person, I have a family, I have a job, I'm not that person anymore. So maybe there's like this weird push and pull that feels like something that hit something a little bit. Yours is from high school, and I often realize, sorry, one sec. I often realize that I don't need to be there because I got my degree already. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like and almost all of those dreams end with me inevitably leaving again and being like, I can't do this. And then maybe there's a little bit of sense of like feeling sad that I couldn't complete it, but I don't think that that's the majority of the pull. Could be that subconsciously you worry that the lack of a degree could limit progression career-wise. Oh, well, I know that. It's silly. But yeah, like, I don't mean that like, oh yeah, duh. But just like, I've seen that. But I'm not also like, I see some of the jobs that people have who have degrees, like people above me, and I don't want them. I don't want that job. Like, I don't want anything to do with that life. Like, they're working like hundreds of hours more than they should be if they respected themselves in their own time. But they just pour everything into it, and they're like in endless meetings, and they're always complaining about how many meetings they have and all this stuff that they have to do and how stressed out they are. And I'm just like, that you're not making this sound fun. Like, I'm sorry. And to her credit, my boss is an amazing person. She's the hardest working person I know and is a wonderful person. And I really probably is the best boss I've ever worked for. But she does not make her role look attractive to me. I'm like, no. And I've told her as much. I'm like, I'm not taking, like, if you ever decide to move on, there's no way. I don't think there's enough money you could pay me. Especially since I slowly but surely am learning that, like, people aren't getting paid as much as I thought they were. Or at least making it appear that way after asking for that raise, you know? It's like, whoa, okay. I really would have thought that you were making more than that. I thought everybody was making more than me. The reoccurring dreams are the ones that have the most meaning. Yeah, it pops up every like a couple of times a year, maybe. So not every night, not every week, not every month. Maybe a few times a year. Maybe. The next time I have it, I'll try to remember it and tell it again. Because it's always a little bit different, too. But it's always the same essential feeling that, like, why did I come back here? Why did I do this? Now I'm not going to be able to keep my job, or I'm not going to be able to stay, you know. For you, Lars, maybe subconsciously you have worries about the value of your BA, and if it's your subconscious telling you it thinks you need to do something else. Maybe. Could also mean it's a part of you telling you that it thinks maybe you should do something else at work, Lars. Yeah. Maybe some dissatisfaction at work and a wish to do something more fulfilling. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know, man. See, like I said, it's complicated. It's a complicated subject. I think the best we can do is throw out hypotheses like that and be like, maybe this is it. And maybe you might have an epiphany. I think I just had a little bit of one for myself. Because it doesn't make sense that I'd keep putting myself back there. And it's obvious that once it happens, like, I'm like, no, I want the life that I have now. I don't want this one again, you know? And it's really weird that I put myself back in that position. It's also probably the most formative time in my life, so that probably made some deep connections more than I realized. Definitely the time where I finally I broke out of my shell. I realized that I could have friends. I could talk to people. I could be quote unquote normal, even though it drained me. So, like, you know, we'd be out doing fun stuff. And like I met some really good people, believe it or not. There's some good people. But unlike the rest of them, I'd just hit this wall and just, not be able to function, like, and barely make it to class and stuff like that. I didn't actually do great in college, grade-wise. I always thought I was pretty smart, but when I went to college, I was a very average student. Had a hard time studying. Didn't know ADHD existed. Didn't know how to deal with that. Still don't know how to deal with it, but at least I know it exists now. So, like, yeah, I just didn't have a great experience. My first real official girlfriend was in college. First time I there was somebody that, I mean, I was attracted to people all my life, right? But it was really the first time where, like, somebody returned that feeling to me. And so, of course, I got hooked on that. Like, of course. And she was a horrible person. Wish her all the best now, but wow, what a bad person. It just represents all the bad stuff about, I think, the way that I was raised. And how much I want to break free of that type of stuff. And have in some regards. And so I guess, like, the nightmare is being pulled back into that world that I don't want to be in. And there's never, in the dream, like I'm never given, like, a reason why I went back. Like, the dream starts with me back. Like, I've already made the decision. And then it's like, why am I here? And I never really have an answer to that part. I can never, like, rewind the dream a little bit and get myself back to the point where, like, why did you go back? Because that would be nice to know. I think that would actually probably answer a lot of questions. If I could see the part of the dream that got me there, you know? This spot hits me I hadn't considered before. There you go. I could also be completely pulling crap on my butt. Well, that's what the fun thing is throwing things out, and then all of a sudden you'll feel something kind of like, oh, that could work. Entry level writing jobs. There you go. Throughout GS and HS, grade school and high school, I tested in the 90th percentile. Was always a very middling student. I would always rather be doing something fun inside or outside, but never wanted to study. My problem is I would study, and the more that I studied, the worse I would do on the test. I was just not good at tests. Tests just don't jive with me. The concept is wild. I don't like it. I can learn when I can learn on my own pace. And so they'd be like, all right, there's going to be a quiz tomorrow, so brush up. They literally tell you it's going to be on this section of the book. Read that, and you'll be good to go. And there'd be guys who were up until 3 or 4 a.m. playing Call of Duty. This was the Call of Duty 1 days. That's how old I am. And I would be in the study hall studying. I was like, okay, I'm just not putting in enough time studying. I'd put myself away, make sure there's no distractions, study, and then I'd be like, all right. And then somebody would inevitably tell me, studying's great. You definitely need to study, but you also need to make sure you get enough sleep, because sleep is really important. So do your studying, but then make sure you get some sleep. So then I'd end up going to sleep, I'd end up getting to sleep at like 11, which is early for a lot of those guys. And I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be like, all right, I've prepped for this test. I've studied. I've taken notes. I'm ready to go. And I will walk into that room and I'll look at the paper and blank completely and just be like, I don't understand, because none of this was in what I just studied. Like, this isn't even part of what we were talking about. And of course it was. And I would just squeak by. Just squeak by barely most of the time. Sometimes I did okay. But usually I would just barely squeak by. And granted, this is not an Ivy League school. It's a freaking Bible college. I'm sure it wasn't that hard, but something about the performance, it was really hard for me. Really hard. Bebo, my favorite lightsaber color lately has honestly been, it's always been blue, but lately the yellows. The yellows are just doing it for me. I love it. I played yellow in Jedi Survivor the whole time. It was wonderful. Thank you for asking. Thank goodness I did well in the SATs, or I don't know where I'd be now. Yeah, I don't know. I love writing, and I think that having to write stuff as a job would be fulfilling for me at the moment. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I hope that you continue to pursue it, even if it seems like a long shot. If that's something you feel like you want to do, then hopefully we'll get you there. That could be it. He might have just solved your dream, Solved. I hate studying. I wouldn't have minded studying if it would have paid off. Like, I feel like I put all this effort into it. And then I just would just, you're a football sport person, and you get the toss, right? Like, somebody tosses the ball to you and you grab that ball and you run for that touchdown zone. You run for it and you get right there and you just trip over nothing. Like, there wasn't anything there, but it's just, you hear the crowd, you hear the crowd chanting your name. You hear them getting excited that you're going to do it. You yourself start to think, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. This is going to be great. I'm going to be a hero. Everyone's going to love me. And you trip. You trip right before the end zone. Your team loses the game. That's it. And you just for no reason, you just drop the ball. Yeah, maybe you don't even trip. You just you just drop it. And everyone looks at you and they're like, why did you just drop the ball? And you're like, I don't know. I studied how to carry the ball. Like, I paid attention in class. I was a great note taker in class. I had tons of notes, copious amounts of notes. I was an excellent note taker. Not so much anymore. I don't know what happened with that, but excellent. In pro football, you can get back up and keep running. Well, so in this analogy, you fall and you fumble the ball, and the other team picks it up and then runs it to the touchdown. You know, that's what it's called, right? A touchdown. Kidding. I feign ignorance of sports. I know what sports are. I know a good soccer game when I hear it. Why do I hear the SVU theme song instead of SVU? It's Dream Detectives. Oh, okay. I see. We're gonna figure this out. But yeah, I did so bad. I did so bad in college. I did really bad. Yeah. So I could see if the dream was me going back and like wanting to like, you know, do well. That would make sense. But no, it's just about me going back and then having anxiety that I can't manage it all, that I can't juggle my family, that I can't juggle my current job, and going to school. That just, yeah, no, again, if the dream was me redeeming myself or even trying to redeem myself, I think that would make sense, but it's never that. I always end up leaving again. I always go, well, this was a mistake, and then I leave again. And every time in the dream, I keep thinking that, like, again, everyone that is there knows that I've come back like 16 times. And I never did. I don't know. And I always end up leaving again, so it becomes like this weird running joke that, like, oh, here he is again. I give him a week. Sometimes literally it's a day. Like, I'll get there and I'll have the dream of me like moving my stuff into the dorm, and there's this moment of like, wow, it's so cool to be back here with these people. It was a toxic place, but there were some nice people. It's so cool to like be back in that exciting, fresh, you know, new start to a school year. And I'll literally like be setting my stuff up, and I'll sit down on my dorm bed and then be like, I shouldn't be here, and literally leave. Like, there's been one time where that happened. It was just like I just left immediately after that. I wish I knew how to take notes. I have an attention issue where I can't write, listen, and look at the same time. I feel like I can only pay attention if I'm actually writing notes. And I have to type them. I can't actually write. I mean, I can write, but I'm going to miss stuff if I have to hand write. So luckily I went to school right when it was becoming acceptable to have a laptop in class. That is, again, how old I am. So that's a black one. So yeah, right then, and that I wanted to say save my bacon, but I didn't do good grade. I didn't get good grades. So I ended up getting kicked out because I couldn't afford it. I probably would have stuck with it if they would have let me. I had gotten a job. I was working at U-Haul. So I'm like, hey, I got a job now. I'm going to be able to pay. I hadn't paid last year's school bill. And if you don't pay the school bill, you don't get to take the finals, right? And so then turns out when you want to re-enroll for next year, even though they told you just to, have faith in God, have faith that God will provide. So I showed up that morning in full faith that God would provide. And they basically laughed at my face and been like, if you don't pay your bill, you can't re-enroll. And it's like, well, I mean, like, logistically that makes sense, but I was told to have faith. So I literally came here. I put my faith into action. I showed up here thinking that I was going to walk up to that counter and say my name, and they were going to be like, guess what? Some kind Samaritan, some unknown angel has paid your entire school bill. And that is when I would know that I'm exactly where I was supposed to be, right? That's when I would know beyond the shadow of a doubt that, like, God is with me and this is where he wants me to be. And and everything's going to work out now because I am in his will, you know? And I told myself, I was like, I will, you know, I'm going to show up and I'm just going to see what'll happen. And that's because that's what I was told. It's drilled into us that, like, we got to just have faith, right? And sometimes that faith means stepping out blindly and trusting that God will work it out. Well, in a strange way, I do feel like you worked it out, because I was able to finally look at things. I took a step back. I was reeling for a little bit. And I just, like, in that moment realized that this isn't where I'm supposed to be. You know, if the money didn't magically appear, then message received, right? I'm not supposed to be here. And I truly believe that. I think that it was time for me to leave. I was relieved. I didn't want to do it anymore, but I thought it was the right thing to do, you know? But, like, relief, man. So they tell me, basically, I gotta leave. I remember calling my parents and being like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Well, no, actually, I take it back. I went back to the dorms because I had already moved my stuff in. They had me assigned a place and everything. And so I'd already moved my stuff in, and then I went to registration after that. I guess they thought I was going to come up with a couple $1,000 as a broke Christian college student, that I just had a bunch of money laying around. And the gall of these people, I was just like, you know, I don't have it. I did just start a new job. I'd started working at U-Haul at the time. So I was like, I've worked it out with my boss to work around school. So I will get money. So I'll be able to kind of slowly but surely pay it off. And so I was like, that's what I went with the premise of that. Like, I didn't really expect somebody to pay for it. I didn't really have that, but I was like, hey, that'd be awesome if it did. But so instead gosh, I just lost my train of thought completely. So instead I went with it saying, hey, I know I still owe, but I have this job now and I'm going to be able to pay towards it, right? As much as I can. And so, yeah, it was, they were just basically like, well, if you can't come up with, I think it was like $1,100, I think is what I needed to pay off like last year's. So that wouldn't have been counting this year's. Unless you can come up with that money, we can't let you be here anymore. And I was kind of like, all right, bye. Like, they even had the dean come and speak to me, and he was very unsympathetic about it too, and basically asked me if I could call somebody in the church to have them give me the money. And I just didn't feel right about that. I was like, I don't want to do it, because I think at this point I didn't want to be there anymore anyway. Because I had seen some things that definitely made me start questioning. I questioned some things, for sure. For sure. And so I went back to the dorm, telling all my friends, I guess I gotta leave. I got a lead from somebody who was there on this family that rented out apartments for college kids. And since I had a job, I went and talked to them, and I found an apartment to live in. And for the first time in my life, I was living completely alone. And it was wonderful. The sense of relief and freedom I felt in that moment was unlike anything I had ever experienced before. It was incredible. And that led to a lot of different stuff. A lot of stuff happened because of that wouldn't have happened otherwise. Interesting comment, that belief that God would work things out, especially going back to your dream, going back to school. Well, you have a current life in order with Mrs. Non and Zeke. Yeah. Maybe the meaning there is that you'd like to go finish your degree, but you're unsure you can afford or complete it without divine help. Yeah. Self-doubt maybe. But that's the thing, is like, I just don't. That I can tie a lot of stuff straight back to that moment, the moment that I like left that college, because it absolutely put me on the course to where I am right now. 100%. I mean, I guess a lot of things did, even deciding to go to that college. So it's a weird place because like I regret it. I shouldn't have been such a compliant little goody two shoes. I never got to have my rebellious streak as a teenager. I was way too compliant. And so I just did what mommy and daddy told me I should do, or what I thought that they would want me to do. Which is don't do that, kids. Like, I mean, I just lost my spot again. Sorry, hang on 1 second. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now we're back. But yeah, but arguably, I think I needed that first relationship. I think I needed that to kind of kick my butt and make me realize that, like, one, it was great to feel desired and like needed and wanted. That was something I hadn't experienced before. So like, okay, cool. I got that out of the way. That's out of the way. That's done. And I could actually like pursue a more meaningful relationship, that I wasn't completely useless. And then living on my own was just transformative. I was able for the first time to see things from the outside in when I had been in for so long. I'm clipping that moment on don't do what mommy and daddy want you to do for Zeke. Yeah. In a weird way, I would kind of, I'm going to, as he gets older, I'm going to have to fight that urge myself to not just entirely control his life, That is definitely something I'm going to have to fight. But unlike some parents, that is something I'm willing to fight about myself. And maybe we should be fighting ourselves a little bit more than we are. Fighting against that instinct to control and consume everything, and direct people's lives in directions that they don't want to go. Yeah. So it's weird. It's that weird dichotomy, right? Of being like, I'm on one hand grateful for what happened because of that, because I started questioning everything shortly after that. It would be years before some of that would really kind of come to fruition and I'd understand what I was feeling. But it really was that catalyst that made me who I am today. So it was a really important time for me, even though I regret, like, you have these regrets, but also those regrets like make you into who you are. It's just, it's crazy. It's wild. Try not to say crazy as much. There he goes again. Shoot. No. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there is probably a little bit of the aspect, Charles, that like I wouldn't be smart enough to go back to school. But I don't think that's expressed in the dream, only because I think if it was, I would also, part of that dream would also be me sitting down in a class and then bombing a test, So having put like my whole future and life back on the line and trying to figure out how to balance it, and then also failing a test, I would never get to the school part. It would always be like the first week or so, whenever we were there, would be super chill. You wouldn't have classes for a while. You'd get like orientation, and they would have like these like, I don't know. I hate to say parties because as much as a Christian school can party, but these like get-togethers and events and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. So it always happened within like that first week, and then I would end up leaving. Like sometimes literally the moment I would get there, I'd be like, this is wrong. Bye. So weird. So I don't know. That's dreams for you. Da, 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 da. Holy cow. If you could only go back, and like see yourself from like where you are now to where you've been. I don't know. I think about like, you think about like those moments you have in your life where you're like, everything is just falling apart around you. And then if you could look up and just see where your life would be in, holy cow, how long has it been? Oh no. Oh no. You know it's been a long time when the calculator has to come out. Oh gosh. I was in that school around 2007. That's 16 years. I know it's been a long time, but that's a long time. That's a long. It's been 16 years. Oh, I'm so old. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I didn't mean to spin that in front of the camera. Yikes. I didn't even realize I had hit the 15-year mark yet. I mean, I guess technically now it's 15 because school would start in the fall. So, and I don't think I started in 2007. I think it was probably the end of 2006. So it's 16 years. I wasn't implying that your questioning a return to college was so much a question on your intelligence as it should be a combination of things like how would the application of that time and money affect your current family? Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Not right now, Bebo. There's no snow on the ground. It's summer. Yeah. It's just, man, it's just such a wild ride. That really got me thinking. I'm a sucker for nostalgia too, by the way. Like there's something about remembering a time based on a feeling that I find intoxicating for some reason. So it's like if I did end up like going back to that school, not to go back to like actually go there, but it would be super interesting to just like walk in one day, like just find myself in the area and like walk into like the common area or whatever. I'm talking about it like it's Hogwarts houses. It kind of was though. But yeah, to just walk back in there and like feel those memories again. I just love that. Even though like I would probably like, I don't think it would trigger too much in me. It wasn't like a super, it's so weird because you go through so much, but then like it was actually really good at the same time. It's so hard to explain. There will come a time where you stop looking backwards, ruining your youth and how old you are, and in turn looking forward to how much time you have left. Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think that I look back on nostalgia like that, like I'm longing for those days. Okay, sometimes maybe I do. But in general, I'm pretty happy with where we are and what the future holds. Yeah. I think you can spend too much time stuck in the past for sure. And maybe this dream is my way of sort of being stuck in the past a little bit. I don't know. It was probably one of the more momentous occasions in my life that I didn't realize at the time. So maybe it's still my brain after 16 freaking years still processing what happened to it. I would not be surprised if now that we're talking about it in a couple of days, I wouldn't be surprised if this dream comes back. And I'm interested to see how different it would be this time too. So now having kind of brought some of this to the forefront, because usually I would have the dream and I'd just be like, well, that was silly. And I'd just move on with my day. But kind of processing out and thinking about it and talking about it I kind of wonder if that's going to have any effect on the reoccurring dream at all, you know? But yeah, man, getting older is quite the adventure for sure. There's some aspects of it that I'm at peace with. There's some that still kind of like I feel like I'm at peace with, but still kind of trigger me a little bit. I'll be honest with you, and I know a lot of people struggle with this, and I didn't think I would be the kind of person who would struggle with it, but my hair, I'm struggling with that a little bit. I know, like Mrs. Nonder's like, it's great. It's really thin up here. You guys don't see it that much because I can't really like get it down to you. But I caught a glimpse of it the other day, and I'm just like, it just gets this pit in my stomach, and it's got to be an aging thing, right? Like not it happening, but I just mean that anxiety about it is just like, whoo, okay, so I'm getting older, and there's this weird like desire in me to just shave it all off, just get rid of it completely. If Mrs. Nodder had let me, I would already be pretty bald. I don't know if I could rock it, but there are just some days where I look at it and I just absolutely like yeah. I didn't think I'd be that guy. There is value to having a BABS when it comes to employers. Have you thought about one of those programs during night school while working full time? I've thought about it and immediately did not want to do it. I'm sorry, like, you know, again, it comes down to one, there's nothing I'm really that passionate about that I would take that time away from myself and my family to do that for. I've been asked this question multiple times over the years, and I just, if there was something that I was passionate enough about to put in that time, I would do it. But in all reality, there's not. And then when I look at people who have the types of jobs that degree would bring, I don't see that being very fulfilling jobs. I see more stress. I see more headaches. I see more responsibility, more weight, more dragging you down. And it's just not appealing. Like, I want to make more money, obviously. Everybody does. But, like, at the cost of what? At the cost of what? Like, I don't think I have the brain power to do my current job and also go to school. I would fry. I would absolutely fry. It'd be too much. I can pretty much like guarantee that. I know that about myself. Yeah. As a bald guy, I understand it, but I already dealt with that. I would love to hear more about like how you deal, like, cause I always thought like that I'd be like the kind of guy who like, if it happens, who cares? And I still want to have that mentality of like, I don't really care. It is what it is. But you know, there's something weird. It's probably closely related to gender, right? A lot of people talking about gender affirming care, like a man taking care of his hair is gender affirming care. Like it really is. So it's probably as close as to like that type of reality that I could probably get to understand how people feel. But I always thought it'd be like no big deal. But then as it's happening, it's kind of like, ooh, this might be a bigger deal than I thought it would be. This might be a little bit harder than I thought it would be. Little different to deal with than I thought it would be. I guess because it's so slow, it's so gradual, and then when other people notice it, I just, oof, like it just feels like this just hit to me. I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that is. I don't want comb overs. I don't want to hide it per se. Yeah. I just want to I want to be at peace with it. If that's what's going to happen, excuse me, I want to just be peaceful and zen. That's what I want to be. I want to be accepting, you know? there are hair things you could do though to try out. I tried a little bit of the Keeps thing, where I used the yeah, I think it was minoxidil. Is that the little drops you put on? And I used the entire bottle. Didn't really see anything, but then I knew like the next step was probably like taking a pill, and I just didn't know if I wanted to go down that route. You know, I don't know. I don't know. A friend of mine grew a hair out of his thumb after minoxidil. Yeah. Don't shave it all off. Just get a good pair of clippers, snap that to number 2 blade, and go to town. That's how my older brother does his hair. He just buzzes it. Save $20 every couple of weeks doing my own hair. Yeah. I do find that when I go to the barber, which I'm hoping to do like this weekend, when I go to the barber and get it cut real short, it looks okay. It looks a lot better. It does look worse when it's longer, I think. And it's really not even, yeah, my hairline's kind of receding a little bit, but it's really more up here. Like this section here, and this I think is what bugs me the most, especially when like people are behind me. Ooh, I just get all sorts of in my head that like everybody's staring at my balding head, you know? It hits you more than I thought, but I'm trying to convince Mrs. Nonder to let me go buzz maybe one of these days. But yeah, I agree. Like just going down to like 2, and I'll keep the beard. The beard grows great. The beard, it's like my hair transferred. It's like it was all up here and then just like down here, you know? No. He let it grow. Literally the pad of his thumb, like right here. Like here. I thought you meant like here, because like I got hairs like on my hands and stuff, so I could see those growing, right? But yeah. You can definitely ask for advice work-wise, for sure. I'm trying to add a blurb and my brain is zapped. Oh no. The first thing to realize, Nader, is that when men think that women care about hair on top of your head, they aren't that shallow. Well, and that's the weird thing too, is like I'm a happily married man. I don't care about what women think about me. I don't think. You know? I don't think I do. Like I don't it's really weird. It's a complicated thing. Cuz you would think it's tied to like your fertility as a male, but it's actually like not, because from what I've seen, it's really an excess of testosterone that typically causes beards to grow luscious and long, and hair to essentially stop growing. So really, if anything, I'm super manly, you know, and it's just society's standards on me that make me think like I need to have a lot of hair. Yeah, society, that's it. That's like new people going to the gym for the first time, their insecurity, where they think everyone's looking at them. Yeah, the reality is that everyone else at the gym is looking at one thing, themselves in the mirror. And it's probably like people probably see it and they probably see it and they go, "Huh." And they move on with it. Like, but in my mind, I'm thinking that everyone behind me is laughing. Man, this is turning into a therapy session. What is going on here? What is happening? We've talked about dreams. This is me deflecting from it getting too real. Please make sure. Kuro says, you look fine. I got an awful receding line in front. Looks like a Vegeta. What's a Vegeta? Do I know what that is? It looks fine from here. I should probably get over the insecurity and just show you guys, but I'm terrified of like showing it on the. And I think a part of it has to do with these lights. I have very light hair. It's very dark right here, and then it gets very light back here. So part of that is like, part of that is also, I think just the lightness of the hair, and it's just thinning. It's not as bad as I probably make it sound out to be, but trying to write this thing for a gaming site who's looking for all sorts of folk. I'm also experienced with matters in regards to social justice or awareness, especially being part of LGBTQIA plus disability and neurodiversity communities. I believe I could provide a valuable insight to these topics, especially as I discuss more and more within the gaming world. I like that. I don't think it's too bad. You want to make sure that, like, if they're looking for all sorts of different types of people, I think if that is a skill and a diversity that you bring to it, you should definitely bring that up. And I think you're right that I like where you were going with the last sentence, where more and more, this is not even just being discussed within the gaming world, but within the world in general. And there's an increasing awareness of issues like this that anywhere would be very lucky to have a person like that. Because not only I feel like, are you aware of those things, I also, and I hope you agree with this, I also feel like you are level-headed about it as well. I've seen a lot of people who go a little off the deep end, and whereas I agree with what they are saying, I've seen a degree of grace within you that you're like understanding of people's journeys. And even if people don't get it 100% right, you're like, one, you're willing to like help them gently, like gently help kind of push them in the right direction, or gently correct. Whereas other people would write people off as like, oh no, you said the wrong thing, you're gone. I don't know if that helps you at all, but that's what I see. Yes, you do, Nonder. All guys care what other people think. I mean, apparently I do, right? I'm saying I don't feel like I do consciously, but apparently I do. There are more and more games discussing these topics are becoming more relevant. Absolutely. It's a reflection of our culture in general, whether some people like it or not. That is where the majority of the culture is headed. There's a loud minority of people who think that all this stuff is scary. But I think it's evidence in the fact that the public conscious is moving in that direction. That it's just a matter of time. So it means manly to have luscious beard and a receding hairline. I mean, kind of. If you want to attribute manliness to the overabundance of testosterone, then yeah, sure. You know? Actually helping me out too with my low self-esteem. I have low self-esteem too, 110%. Always have. It's hard to break out of. I'm a strong supporter of social issues, LGBTQ rights, who also recognizes the influence of games and other media on these social issues. I'm an experienced gamer who also has their own social media presence on Twitch. And ooh, yeah, I like that. What did I do? Sorry, I was getting caught up on chat. We have like 3 different combos going. Why'd I get the TIs? 4. It's that 30-minute mark. Don't get me wrong, though. Do please continue to distract me. That is completely fine. Next one. I do like the way that was written, though. I do like that. Yeah. I think a good term to use is being very plugged in to those types of issues. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, good. I was hoping I didn't say something wrong. And you're just like, It would be a very, very cool to have somebody like that in a position, especially a writer. So much for 24 minutes per board. You know what? It's worth it. I got to have a therapy session. I say this all the time. I should go to therapy. I'm an advocate for therapy. I love therapy. I think everybody, I see other people out there and I'm like, whoa, you need to go to therapy. But then I never take my own advice. And I really, I have felt kind of hypocritical about that. Everybody could probably benefit from it, but I definitely got some stuff. A lot of self-esteem, a lot of childhood issues, a lot of probably a lot of unresolved traumas. Not probably, definitely. Whoops. Crap. But instead, I'll just keep going on Twitch and you guys can just be my therapist. Is that okay? Is that acceptable? I don't want to be the guy where it gets so much that you finally have like a breaking point and then you go to therapy. But also like, yeah, like I don't want to do something stupid and then be like, whoa, holy crap, I should have been going to therapy. You know, we're your therapist and you are ours. True. I mean, I do see some benefit to that, to talking about this stuff, especially our insecurities and our struggles. I think that's super important for people to see, because somebody else could come across this stream and just hear somebody talking about something they've never heard expressed in words before and go, holy cow, I didn't know that was a thing. That's what I'm feeling, you know? That's very likely that could happen. And then you've helped somebody else. So even if you haven't fully figured it out yourself, you've helped someone else, you know, further down the path. You've helped them get to where they want to be, where they need to be. I think that's pretty cool. We have to be brothers. I do think we think a lot alike. It's a little weird. You actually, in a weird way, remind me of my older brother. A lot. And he and I are very similar too. So, in fact, I'm gonna see them today. They're coming over today. We're gonna have a little barbecue, but it's supposed to rain now today. But we're gonna have a little get together today. That should be fun. I have a bad feeling about this. Big Mofo Gaming, how the heck are you? I hope you're doing well. I might have to start from the bottom here because there's these. Don't worry about Bebo. He's not talking about you. I'm not sure what he has a bad feeling about, but this is not the Nonder you know. Oh, you probably just know the PNG Nonder, right? That's a different Nonder. This is the Saturday Lego stream Nonder. Welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that. I got really close without even having to count it. Nice. Let's see. No, it's not the Nanda that I used to know. I also get along with my older sister the best. Yeah. And she's noted how we're very similar compared to other family members. There's still enough about me and my brother that we're different on. He is a little bit more social than I am. More outgoing. Most of my brothers are a lot smarter than me. My other brother is a genius, I think. Just always... he has just always been smart. My other brother. Not that my other one isn't, but so out of my two brothers, he is the one that I would say I'm most similar to. We have a lot in common, which is pretty cool. The cartoon one, I know. What you building? So this is the Ultimate Vader pixel art. So basically, a couple years ago, Lego released these like stud pixel art things, and you put all these little pixels down, and then when you step away, you can kind of see a bigger picture forming. And they released 3 of them. They were the Sith Lords. One was Darth Vader, one was Darth Maul, the other was Kylo Ren. And they were 3 separate ones. I built all those, had them up on my walls for years, but the secret is there's a special super secret set that when you collect all 3, you can take them apart and combine them to make a super long Ultimate Darth Vader. And that is what we're doing today. I've taken them apart slowly but surely over the course of the last couple months, or a month. Taking them apart, and now we're rebuilding it. These are all the ones we finished this morning so far. They'll all go together. It'll be a super long like portrait of Darth Vader, lightsaber and all. It's pretty cool. First time seeing you without the PNG. Well, welcome. I used to not be a PNG streamer. I used to do only camera stuff, but now I save the non-camera stuff for non-cam. I save the non-cam stuff for Lego streams. I feel very comfortable playing video games as a PNG tuber, but I'm not exclusively a PNG tuber, so if I didn't do the PNG thing, I don't think I'd be able to stream during the week. It's just it's a lot of pressure to be on for me sometimes. It may seem that I do this effortlessly, but it just comes with practice. But I'm so glad you're here. I am so incredibly excited to play more Tears of the Kingdom. I can't wait. Unfortunately, I'm going into the office on Monday, which means my morning commute now will be my coffee hour. So there won't be a coffee hour on Monday, but the rest of the week we should be able to play some more Zelda. I'm looking forward to it immensely. Ow. You actually just now noticed, now that you mentioned it? That must be such a good PNG that you can't tell the difference between me and, I do Lego sets on my YouTube. Might try this one. Yeah, if you've got these ones, it's a challenge. It's a lot to do. I recommend sorting all of these into individual bags, and in the instructions it'll tell you that the red is number 10. And then as you're looking at the instructions, it just says place a number 1 here, place a number 2 here. That has made it immensely easier, even though it took a long time to sort it. We did a couple of streams where we're just sorting Lego. But usually what we do here is we build. We talk a little bit about Lego, we talk a lot about Star Wars, and we talk a lot about life. That's typically what we do here on Saturday mornings. And then the rest of the week's for gaming, right? I don't know why I did that. My Lego sets are built digitally, though. Oh, that's cool. Well, that removes a lot of limitations, doesn't it? I might have asked you this before. What program do you use for that? Like Lego CAD or something? I had some experience with Lego CAD back in the day. I'm sure there's something newer and better nowadays, though. Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Coffee stream is a great way to start the day. Yeah, no coffee stream on Monday. I'm sorry. Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it wasn't like a surprise call into the office. It was just one that I wasn't sure we were going to have to go to because my boss was out last week. She came back Friday. And so then I was able to ask, like, hey, are we gonna go in for this thing? And it could have gone either way. She could have been like, nah. But she was like, yeah, I'd like us to be in for that. So just a meeting. It's nothing crazy. But I'll be commuting around the time I would normally be playing Zelda. And I gotta tell you, I'm fighting the urge to play it this weekend. I'm not going to. I'm gonna play it on stream. But man, I'm fighting the urge because it's oof. To be honest, I did look at a Nintendo Switch at Best Buy yesterday. The $350 price tag held me back. Yeah, I understand. Would you play it more in handheld mode, or would you want to dock it to the TV? If you're going to do exclusively handheld, the Switch Lite is a little bit cheaper. So a funny story, I had a Switch, didn't play it docked, like ever. Like never did. So they came out with the Switch Lite and I was like, yes, that's what I want. You can fit it in a pocket fairly easily. It's like, that's what I want. So I went and sold my full-size Switch and I bought a Switch Lite instead. And it was great. I used it for a long time. And then just out of the blue, I got the opportunity to get a free full-size Switch. Somebody I know was just kind of like, I need to get rid of this. I don't care to spend money on selling it. and I was willing to pay for it, and they were just like, here, just take, you can just have it. And I was like, okay. So I still have my Switch Lite, which I plan on most likely passing down to Zeke when he gets older. If it's still, by the time he's old enough to use it, though, it might not be a thing anymore. But yeah, I technically have both. But I recommend the Switch Lite. But if you're ever wanting to dock it or stream from it, so I'm having to stream from this one now. The only reason I'm able to do that is because I have the full size one, because you can hook up a capture card to the dock. So it kind of just depends. If you're really just like, no, I am exclusively going to be handheld, I would never dock it to a TV, then the Lite is the way to go. And I'm actually kind of excited now that I have that hooked up, because there's a lot of games. There's a lot of possibility and potential for Switch games on stream. So obviously we'll have a long time with Zelda. But then there's also this game called The Runes of Tassos, which I think Fro turned me on to. Either Fro or Dutch did. One of them guys turned me on to it, and I played a little bit of it and loved it, and was like, oh, this would be such a great game to stream. So I kind of stopped playing it for that reason, that like, ooh, if I could ever stream on Nintendo Switch, like, this is what I'd want to stream. So after Zelda, there's a possibility we could play that. It's like a roguelike. You like take these runs and stuff, and I don't know, it's got a old school Zelda aesthetic. It's really neat. Hey, good afternoon, Elf. How you doing? I have to make every brick from scratch, then actually build the model. But as I build each Lego piece, it gets added to my parts collection. So as I have that piece for the next build, I also build you built the tall neck set from Horizon. To be honest, couldn't afford the sets, so this was a way to build sets for like €25. Yeah, 25 pounds. Is it pounds or euro? Or is that the same thing? I'm a silly, stupid American head. Hey, Bebo. It's fine. Bebo leans a little bit more negative than I thought he would. I thought he'd be a little bit more uptight. Uptight. I thought he'd be a little more chipper and less uptight. Don't worry about it. Okay, so you build. So what program are you using? Okay, that's right. You told me about Dreams before. I use a game called Dreams. Yeah, and I remember last time you told me about that. Sony did pull the plug on that, which is unfortunate. I'm sure it'll have legs for a little while as people continue to play and support it. But a game like that, I kind of wish was on Steam, so that you would really have legs, like you'd have a modding community behind it. So it'd be awesome if they could, like, if they're not going to do anything with it, they should like release the code and let people build stuff. What the heck is that? My dog's barking for some reason, which probably means he's going to wake up the kid. What the heck is going on? Give me 1 second. Can we go BRB for just 1 second? Let me go figure out what's going on. Where's BRB? Okay, I'll be right back, okay? Here's some clips in the meantime. Come on. Clips. There you go.
I can't remember which outpost that is.
Can I play a song with him?
I think so.
You're so close to dead though. They're just gonna walk up and blow
There,
you.
I can play with him.
Okay, here we go. All right. What do we do?
Okay. Gotta try and find Nonder.
Okay.
Oh my
He's not
gosh.
appear on the map, so I think we gotta go south.
That sucks. Really thought that was gonna be Confetti Creeper.
You're banking on it being.
I did forget that I took off all my armor for the or I would have been fine. Did not.
Okay, I'm back. Hello. If you have dogs, you probably know this, but there's a very distinct way that they bark. I can tell when a stranger just kind of like passed by the house. There's a certain bark. I can tell when someone comes up to the door, that's a different bark. And then finally, you can tell when someone he knows is at the door, then it's like an even different bark. This one was weird because almost a cross between somebody he knew and someone just walking by. And so I was like, what is going on? I didn't see any front door notifications. Apparently, it's just an Amazon package being dropped off just extra early for some reason. I was like, geez. It was just a weird bark. And then, of course, I think the whole house is up now. So, it is what it is. Yeah, if it was ported to PC, it would have been good, as it's an engine more than a game. Absolutely. And just if you're not going to continue to support something, that's fine. Like, the companies have the right to, not invest any longer in something that they were investing in before. They have that right. But just, if you're not going to do anything with it, could we have it? I mean, you're not going to sell it any longer. Nobody's going to buy it. So you might as well just, give it away. Give it away. I think we should pass a law where things that are, if you're no longer going to support it, things like a game, especially like a multiplayer game, right? If you're no longer going to support that game, if you're not going to have servers spun up for it, which is understandable. If there's 2 people playing it, you're not going to pay to have these servers stood up for an old game that 2 people are playing. But at that point, if you're not willing to shell out the money to support it, you should release the source code. You should just give it away. Because, who cares? You're not going to make money off of it. You moved on to other things. You should, after a certain amount of time, when you're not willing to invest in it any longer, it should kind of become Creative Commons, which a lot of stuff already does. It just takes a very long time to get there. I think that'd be cool. Just a nice way to it shouldn't even be a thing that you have to force people to do. It'd just be a nice thing. About the proposed right to repair law that's being written. Yeah. Is it being written right now? I know that's been a topic for a while. You should absolutely. It's kind of ridiculous that you wouldn't have the right to repair a thing that you own. That should feel like a no-brainer, especially when it comes to the farmers and their tractors. That's a wild one that we're going to be no, you have to subscribe to John Deere and you can't open up your tractor to fix it. How dare you? That's pretty crazy. And then you can apply it all the way down the train to phones and devices and whatever it is. It should just, you don't need to interfere in every aspect of a human's life because they bought a product from you. Targeting companies like Apple, which make it very difficult to do things like swap batteries or screens. Absolutely. Yep. Finally got the PC running. A piece of junk. Hi again. Well, hello. I'm glad you got it running. What's wrong with it? Just an old PC. You need to repair it. You need the right to repair it. Yeah, just imagine being told that you bought a PC and then you want to go upgrade your graphics card and being told, nope, sorry. Okay, I mean, I have a lot of stuff. I'm not an Apple hater. I actually kind of like Apple products. So there's a lot of stuff that I have that probably won't get fixed. And we live in a very disposable technology age, which isn't awesome. But I think to actually seek legal action against someone who's trying to fix their iPad because they know what they're doing and they can open it up and fix it, to seek legal action against people like that is just a next level of insane. That's just because you know what it is. They just want you to buy a new one. That's all it is. Just buy a new one. But Apple's hardly the only company that does stuff like that, I didn't hear about Deere Corp. They prevent repairs to their tractors. Yeah, I think it was John Deere. I'd have to look it up again. They basically wanted to. They wanted to create a tractor and then essentially a subscription service on that tractor where you could get it repaired, at an authorized dealer, right? So you could get it repaired. But then, let me see. John Deere repair news. It was the beginning of the year where they finally signed the agreement. And so most of the farmers were outraged about it. So they wanted to come together to make them like sign an agreement that yeah. So let's see. The memorandum offers farmers access to software and diagnostic codes so they can perform their own maintenance and repairs. So they're basically gatekeeping the codes in order to like diagnose an issue with their tractor. So where they be forced to like bring it in to someone to repair, to an authorized dealer. The only catch is that it was an annual subscription fee that comes with it. Beam says the price unfortunately doesn't offer any relief for small to mid-sized farmers like himself. This is a farmer speaking. It was a one-time cost of $1,500 to buy the software reader and stuff like that. But the fact that it's thousands and thousands of dollars annually, subscription-based, it just alleviates it from being realistic for most farmers. So it wasn't that they could just like spend a little bit of money up front and buy it. It was that they were trying to put it behind a subscription paywall. So basically, pay to repair your tractor. And so, yeah, I think they came to an agreement. This was a while back, at the beginning of the year. The Colorado governor signed it, the right to repair law. That was opposed by John Deere because, of course, they want to do that. Yeah, this was back in January. It looks like it has it looks like it's been resolved from what I recall. But yeah, like imagine like a farmer, like the backbone of our entire system. Imagine trying to make their jobs harder and make them have to spend more money when it's not like a glamorous kind of job, It's an essential, important, significant job, feeding people, keeping this whole machine running, and then they can't repair their own tractors if they need to, which is already like a thing that a lot of like lower income farmers would need, right? So you're talking about gating out a lot of low income farmers who maybe don't have a mega farm. They're just kind of like getting by with the family farm. You're literally gatekeeping them out of being able to just fix a tractor, Yeah, John Deere, they've already done it. U.S. farmers win the right to repair John Deere equipment. BBC. Tractor maker John Deere has agreed to give its U.S. customers a right to fix their own equipment. Oh, only U.S. customers, though. Everybody else? I shouldn't do that. Previously, farmers were only allowed to use authorized parts and service facilities rather than cheaper independent repair options. They actually did a huge jailbreak last August that was like a big thing. Also, the repairs never come in time. And it would cost a farmer tens of thousands. Yeah, I mean, it's a difference between fixing a car yourself and taking it to a dealer, or at least being able to take it somewhere cheaper. There's also people who fix cars who like do it kind of on the down low. And so you could potentially take your tractor to a place like that that's not an authorized dealer, and they wouldn't be able to repair it either because they're not authorized. They don't have the code. They don't have the codes that you need to fix your tractor. That's when technology probably went a little too far, When it becomes a hindrance other than a help and just another way for rich people to make more money. It's like, we already bought your product. Like, you've already got the money. But I guess they were like, there's probably a huge used market for equipment like that. And so they're probably upset that people aren't buying new tractors. They're just like reusing old tractors. And so, if you want to reuse old tractors, you're going to need to come through us. in order to repair said tractor. Just crazy. Not crazy. Is insane, and insane's probably not much better than crazy, right?
I'm a Swedish Viking!
Whoa. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. Holy crap, that scared the crap out of me. Hello, Mrs. Nonder. I'm assuming the dogs woke up the entire family, huh? I don't know what that was. Where am I? Okay. I don't know what that was. I think something got delivered this morning. His bark, Smokey's bark, I was telling them was like, you know, he has different barks for somebody's just walking by, right? Biddy has a certain, it was Mom's Mother's Day gift. Ooh, should I go get it? Just in case it gets yoinked from the front. I can go grab it if you think we need to. But yeah, there's like a certain bark that he has for strangers passing by, strangers getting a little close to the house. Definitely a bark for people that he knows. Like when he sees Ashley's mom, it just, he goes bonkers. Old tractors weren't as high tech necessarily. Yep. They're synonyms. Okay. Nefarious and ridiculous what they're doing. I like that better. Nefarious. What a great way to put it. Well, at least I know my sound alerts are loud enough. Was that loud enough for you guys? Was it too loud for you? The new tractors being high-tech is a big support to the farmers because there's so much science in farming. Yeah, absolutely. Like, you don't want them gatekeeped into having to use old tech when they could do it faster and smarter than before. I gotta say, I don't think we're gonna finish 8 today. It was a stretch goal. It's a stretch goal of mine. Wait, where am I? Okay, no, yeah, I'm right here. I'm here. There we go. It is really easy to lose your spot on this thing. Just wish you could do some kind of like overlay. Oh, there's Zeke spelling words for us. Unless Mrs. Nonder is talking about socks from Buzz Lightyear. By the way, when do you think you'll be done? Because I could just start up when you're finished up. Let's see, what time is it? It's been 2.5 hours. Definitely by 9, so in another 45-ish minutes. Although we do have a lot to do this morning. Let's say I'll finish this panel, and then I'll do one more, and then I'll call it regardless of where we're at that point. So maybe another 30 to 40 minutes. I'm probably still around 9 a.m. Central Time. It's 8:25 a.m. right now. I would absolutely love to raid you if you are going live. That would be awesome. He doesn't realize we have to type, so he held the phone up and said, "Yeah, Daddy, it is socks from Lightyear." Hey, buddy. Are you all cuddling in Mommy's bed? Is that what you're doing? Mommy's bed. Mommy and Daddy's bed. The kid doesn't like sleeping in our bed that much. Like, he woke up from a thunderstorm a while back. He's gonna go crazy at me just saying thunderstorm. He's gonna be like, "Oh, there's a storm coming." But he woke up and came into our bed for a while and just wouldn't sleep, and then finally just went back into his own bed. Which, so it's like, it's nice that he has that independence and sleep in his own bed, but like, you know, you could, it's all right. When it's stormy out, you could come cuddle. It's all right. Yeah, keep the Lego going. You can do brick tails. Ooh. Or are you gonna build something? I know you have those sets still. Did you finish those yet? Yeah, Daddy, it is Buzz Lightyear. He's a good kid. Bricktails. Now, I think next weekend. Okay, cool. Bricktails. Woo. One, two, three, four. That'll leave me with 2 left, which will be about an hour. And then hopefully the rest of the stream next week we could just put together. We could put together the rest of it. That's a good plan, I think. Uh-oh. He spelled socks. Very close, buddy. Very close. Try again. Yee. Oh. Yes. Yes. No, that's right. So easy to lose it. If you were doing these, would you start from the top, bottom, kind of like I'm doing, like top left, down to the right, kind of like this? Is that how you would do it? I'm interested to see what other people would do. Would you go horizontal, vertical? Surely you wouldn't focus on one color at a time. Surely, right? Look at those hands move. You're like a machine. Ooh. Okay. Like a blur. Maybe it's just bad frames per second on the camera. You would do a color at a time. Are you... Wait, how did Lars put it? You are nefarious and ridiculous. You just start at the top and go across. Okay, so you'd go like this. Okay, I mean, I think that's legit too. That's legit. For some reason, it works for my brain to go top to bottom, left to right. But I could see left to right and just kind of, yeah. No idea. How dare you? Okay. There we go. I forgot to put the pins in when I started on this one. Do we want to do a time challenge on the last one? So I could start a timer and we could figure out exactly how long it'll take us. Time challenge, time challenge, time challenge. Come on, I'm trying to pick it up with my feet. It's just a black one, so I probably won't need it because I got a lot of them. But just in case. Okay, come here. There we go. Ah, foot stud. That's as closest to seeing my feet as you'll ever get. Unless you pay. Okay. There we go. It's officially 4, or no, 5. It's 5. It makes sense to me. A color at a time. And it's only a 20 by 20 board, so it's a pattern. It is a pattern. So I have done a color at a time when there's a giant section of one color. So if like half of it is like all black, I might do that entire section. But I found it most efficient to just go one after the other. I'm going to put the pins in first before I start the timer, okay? That makes me nefarious. Lars, I profusely prohibit you from using my blurb in your job app. Oh no. Give that back to me. Now she's gonna be sad. Okay, does somebody want to time it for me? So I would use the timer on my phone, but my phone is currently this camera. Yeah, I mean, it was me. We were talking about the term insane and like crazy and better words to use. And then ended up rewriting it anyway. It was a good start. Okay, good. Use a coffee timer. I could use the coffee timer. I'd have to like rejigger it though. It's easier if I have Lars do it for me. Okay, let me make sure I'm all set up. Okay. What's up, bud? Hang on. Pause. What's up? Hello? Oh, do I have to open the door for you? Hold on one sec. Sorry, I forgot the door wasn't open. Hi, Smokey. Hi, Smokey. What are we doing? What are you looking at? What are we doing? Oh, look. Bring the phone back to mommy. Here.
It's Daddy and Daddy.
Yep, it's Daddy and Daddy. Go bring it back to mommy, okay?
Now there's both of Daddy.
Okay, can you close the door? Now it's both Daddy. Now you can hear yourself. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay. I was turning one of those cooking shows where chef has 60 minutes to make a dish. I fully expect a countdown. Okay. I gotta head and get ready here. Been nice hanging with you. Yes, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for your insights. I'm very impressed of your dreams builds. That's pretty cool. If you have any you want to show off, feel free to join the Discord. If you haven't already. Discord. Feel free to join the Discord and show them off. I would love to see it. But otherwise, thank you. Have a great day. Okay, I'm ready now. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Yes, chef. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. See, I crumble under pressure. It's too much pressure. I don't know how I would do on, see, I'm just dropping stuff all over the place. I don't know how I would do on Lego Masters. I gotta admit, like, I think given enough time and like resources and pieces, I could build really, really cool stuff. But the time constraints on that show would really stress me out. Okay, going all the way down. So I don't have to like count it. I'm gonna come from the bottom now too. And then it's one of these. Probably could have my system laid out a little bit better, but that's all right. I don't think it gets much better than this. Whoa, oh shoot. Yeah, add me on Twitter too. That'd be a great place to do it as well. Lego Builders, begin. Have you all watched Lego Masters at all? If you have not watched Lego Masters, you really should watch Lego Masters. It's really great. Friend of the show, I don't think he knows me. Brick and Nick on Twitch. He's a Lego builder on Twitch. Pretty big. Kind of the one of the biggest, I guess, maybe. He's supposed to be on this newest season. I don't know when it's supposed to start though. Yeah, Mofo, probably next stream will be hopefully the finale when everything will come together. That is the idea so far. I started to, but I didn't finish. It's really cool. I like it. Especially the builds where they have to achieve a certain thing, like bridge structure or something like that. I think that's pretty cool. You okay there, bud? Smokey's just back there sneezing. Ooh, there's a bug. Can you see that bug? I don't know what he's doing here. Who are you? What are you? I've never seen a bug like that before. What is that? Can you see it? What am I doing? Wait, I'm being timed. Get off. Get off. Get off. Oh, yuck. Yuck. Here's an old t-shirt. Well, it's not old. It's a nice t-shirt. I like this t-shirt, but it's dirty. Ew. Okay. Sorry. Wait. You don't have to pause the timer. Hang on. I'm back. I just meant to brush it off. I'm sorry. I meant to just brush it away. I didn't mean to smear it like that. Yuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5. Ooh, 6, 7. Look at that. I did it without even counting. I need to trust myself more. No t-shirt is old till it's unusable. Yeah, it's actually like one of my favorite t-shirts. But it's dirty. I changed into this one, you know, the classic black tee for the stream. Oh, it's not really focused now, is it? Okay, sorry. I'm doing something here. Okay. That was just classic. I'm like, okay, I'm being timed. Ooh, look, a bug. My God tier t-shirt is 19 years old by now. Yeah. I have clothes like that. I'm notoriously bad at buying clothes for myself. That's why I have a ton of black t-shirts. That's basically all. I wear shorts and a black t-shirt like most days. I'm just most comfortable in it, you know? Whoa, that's a... Wait, how'd that happen? Get out of there. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6. What is the best Star Wars battle scene? Great question, Bebo. What do we consider a battle scene, everyone? Shoot, I did one too many. What do we consider a battle scene? Does it got to be, whoops, dropped another blue one. Say I'm dropping stuff all over the place. Are we talking like lightsaber? Or are we talking space battle? I have an answer for space battle. Let's go space battle. That's how I'm gonna interpret that anyway. And I would say, space battle wise, Rogue One, all the way. Just so the last half hour of that movie is some of my favorite Star Wars stuff to ever be put on screen. It's not like my favorite Star Wars movie, but it's definitely my favorite like ending to a Star Wars movie, for sure. You're doing Lego at the moment, but it's a secret? Secret. I got a secret. Is that one gray stud supposed to be there? Where? Probably. This one? Yes. This one, yes. My Cal Kestis is using yellow lightsaber. Charles! The best color for Cal. I really do think, I wish that was canon. I wish his color was yellow. It just something about it fits. A lot of debate about whether or not lightsaber colors mean anything. Back in the old canon, the Legends canon we call it now, they did have green meant like consular, or and they all had significant like roles to play. But in kind of more newer Disney canon, It's more like your lightsaber color sort of chooses you, sort of like your wand in Harry Potter. So you have to find a kyber crystal growing, and the crystal sort of calls to you. And then, you know, like, honestly, whatever color it ends up being is just kind of at the will of the Force, really. I don't think they assigned roles to the lightsaber colors. Maybe they'll change that in the High Republic stuff, and that will be canonized once again. But generally, I think in official canon, it doesn't really mean anything. However, in the canon prior, the yellow would be a... I don't remember the name, but the Jedi Temple guards would have yellow. So it's kind of like a guardian. I don't think they called it guardian, but sort of like a last bastion of Jedi knowledge, that kind of thing. It fits. So I have really been into yellow lately for lightsaber color. I find it really cool. And I'm excited for this after sequel movie we're going to get with Rey, and I'm hoping we get to see quite a bit of her with her yellow lightsaber. I hope. Because we only got like one glimpse of it at the very end. It's like, come on, give me more of that. Finally. I can't wait for the secret Lego thing to become public because now I love it so much. Oh, you're doing testing right now. Oh. Secret Lego stuff. I can't wait to. I can't wait to like see the announcement for what it is and have you pop in chat and be like, this is the thing I was working on. I couldn't say anything about it, but now I can too. I'm very excited too. And you have shown tremendous amounts of restraint to not just tell me exactly what's going on. So I appreciate that. That shows a lot of moral fortitude, you know? I would be biting my tongue. I would like to think I would keep it too, obviously. You don't break an NDA. But I know how hard that's gotta be to hold back. Especially having been in some of our Lego streams lately. And me being like, I wish a game would do this. And you're like, I can't say. But, I think for Cal, the reason why he's got access to like so many different colors is I feel like he's just kind of stumbled upon probably old lightsabers as he goes in his adventures and just takes the crystals from there. That's my headcanon anyway. Yes, sir?
This is you mango eye.
Oh, you got me mango ice cream? Thank you so much. Is that mine or yours?
It's yours.
It's mine? Okay. Well, thank you.
Welcome.
You're welcome. It's a smoothie bowl. He calls it ice cream.
That's what you call it in the morning.
Yeah, we call it a smoothie bowl in the mornings. For Mrs. Notter's birthday, I got her a Ninja Creamy. This is just frozen mango. That's all it is. No added sugar, nothing like that. It's just chopped up mango, frozen, and then put in the Ninja Creamy. Let's get creamy. So yeah, it's a smoothie bowl, Charles. It's not ice cream. It's not breakfast ice cream. She makes a lot of ones. Yeah. That's it, Mrs. Nutter. Sorry about the mouth noises. She makes a lot of the ones with like Fairlife milk and protein. So those like have a lot of protein potential in those. Very excited about that. I need to get her some more cups so that we can make even more. It's a pretty genius thing. It works really well. It's a way to have like really, really good tasting ice cream with like way less calories, like a ridiculously less amount of calories, and way better for you. I almost put those black right back in there. Where am I? Right there. These two. 1, 2. 2 black. Nighttime, it's ice cream. I was wondering whether or not I need to call CPS. I hope not. Zeke is notorious for like not loving to eat in the early mornings too. So like when we make it with protein and like she puts like a bunch of what did you put in it one day? Like some coconut flakes or something, like some more like fiber and stuff like that and more protein. And he eats it, like that's a win for us. Get some of that protein in that kid. He needs it. She's got popsicle molds and now wants to make that strawberry cottage cheese ice cream into popsicles. Do it. Cottage cheese ice cream, I think, would be delicious. High protein, man. Just find a way to get in more protein. Cottage cheese has quite a bit of it. I'm on a protein kick. That's the only thing I wish about this mango one is that there's protein in it. It's really good though. Ooh. Two. I'm kind of running out of these ones. Hopefully I don't run out before we're done. I'm hoping like the last few ones are just going to be all black and I can just like fly through them. You can mix it with some Greek yogurt. True. Yep. Yeah, I'm a fan of the ones that give you like a lot more protein, but this one is still like really good. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Blue. Then a black. Come on. I can't tell if I'm going any faster than I normally would. I can't even really tell. Maybe. Six and then a 3 right there. Was Lars running the timer? Or should I have started a timer? We're 15 minutes in. Okay. Okay. Nice, nice. There's a 1. So technically, two and 3, 2, 9 minutes, builders. Is that really the 9 minutes until I hit like my normal time frame? Is that really true? I did get distracted by a bug. Cottage cheese. I still dislike cottage cheese to this day immensely. Oh man. My kindergarten gave us plain cottage cheese to eat sometimes with a sandwich and a drink. I eat plain cottage cheese all the time. It was like a whole plate of cottage cheese. Oh, man. When you get forced to eat something you don't like, though, that'll just ruin it for you. Ever heard of the poem, Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating curds and whey? Yep, she was eating cottage cheese. Oh, curds. That makes sense. Look at that focus. I don't think I've ever seen that from her. That's when you hit your personal best so far. We'll see if you beat it in this run. Okay. All right. Here we go. It could be fun to do a little like building challenge sometime. Like in person. Like it'd be cool if we ever have non-con. And the O in con is also a 0. If we ever have non-con, we're gonna have to do like, I'll get a bunch of pieces. Everybody has the same pieces. And you have to build the same model, but you all have like only 15 minutes or something to do it. Okay. 2 of these. That could be kind of cool. You know what they say? Time flies when you're having fun. Are we having fun yet? 2, 3, 4, 5. I couldn't imagine doing something like this from your brain, like without instructions. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine the time it would take. Like whoever made the first one. I actually think going across the way with those blue messed me up more than anything else. I thought it was going to save me some time, but... Gonna do it again. I do feel like I can go pretty fast at stuff when I get into a flow. Like especially with like menial tasks at work. When it's just like I gotta go update this spreadsheet with a bunch of information. I feel like I can do that pretty fast once I get into a flow. If I start to think about it a little bit too much, then I'll start to falter a little bit. The rest of this is all black, so I can do this. Wait. Other than this one. The rest of this is all black. Be ready on that timer. Come on. See, if I start thinking about too much, trying to go too fast, that's when I start fumbling. Good job, Lars. Did you write it out or did you actually apply for it? Okay, 3 left. 1 left. Time. You applied. Excellent. Good job. So you can go fast, but the depth of your philosophical discussion goes down. True. 20 minutes, 50 seconds, 50 milliseconds. Just under 21. That's got to be the fastest one. There's no way. I'll let my ice cream melt. That's how fast it was. Thank you for timing. There's 2 left. But it's just about time. Smoothie bowl, sorry. You know what makes it even better? The fact that I, as a 30-something-year-old man, get to use fun bowls like this. With no judgment. I have a kid. Sometimes that's the only bowl you have clean, you know? Sorry about that. 20 minutes. We'll call it 21. We'll round up. We'll round up to 21. It was very close to 21. That's the current record. So it would take me, if I worked at that exact same breakneck speed, it would take me another 40 minutes to finish the rest of these. Although, yeah, they still have quite a bit of variety to them. There's a lot of browns going into the next ones. Lots of browns. So yeah, I was kind of hoping like the last few ones would just be like black. Our dishes are clean, but it would look like I didn't give you much if I put it in a big bowl of Logic. I didn't mean that to say our dishes weren't clean. I was just saying sometimes it's the most convenient thing to just grab a little dish. Oh, so then there'd be more for you. Is that the logic there? I can't believe we only have 2 left. 1, 2. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You're not going to believe this. Focus. Focus. So we have 3 left. How did I not? I can hear her laughing out there. No. I hear her giggling. His last personal best unfortunately has been disqualified. Well, I just was thinking, I was like, cool, that means we only have 2 left. So I was looking through it and I was like, wait, why am I counting 3? There's definitely 3 left. Son of... So we're not going anywhere until we tear all this apart and resort these bricks. We'll come back here to the scene next week to see he's able to fix his grievous error. Of course, that one's too low. Sorry, I put the music up too high. I'm in danger. Oh my god.
I like those odds.
I could just hear Mrs. Nonder from the other room laughing at her husband. Laughing at his misfortune. I gotta get the bowl out again, Charles. Gotta get the metal bowl. It's just this one. I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it, you know, but... Thank goodness I checked. Could you imagine if I hope I didn't do that on any of the other ones. I'm really hoping that didn't happen like weeks ago. As soon as I saw that face. I knew what you did. Hopefully that didn't happen, like, you know, in one of the first streams, and now we're only going to notice it once we put together the final product. Yikes. Holy cow. I can't believe I did that. It's going to take forever now, too. Unfortunately has been disqualified. Oops. Yoink. Y'all been with me through thick and thin. Through the good times and the bad. This is one of the bad times. Next week we find out there's 27 boards not put together are all the same board. Oh no. I would probably give up at that point. I'd be like, we're not gonna, I definitely don't think I have it in me to tear these apart again. Resort all of the bricks. It's what kept me from doing it for so long to begin with, was just all that time. This has been like a long project. But hopefully, ultimately, worthwhile. This is what people come to see, funny content. Stick around long enough, you'll see it. I will mess up. I'm hoping somebody clipped that for me. If not, I'm going to have to go back and clip it. Speaking of clips, have y'all seen that Twitch now has a way for you to turn your clips into vertical videos for YouTube and TikTok? That's pretty cool. Thought you were gonna say you were following the Kylo pattern instead of the Darth Vader pattern. That would be pretty insane. But no, I have the instructions specifically for the Vader one saved on my desktop, so I don't think there's a chance of that. That would be devastating, though. Streamers are human too. Yep, streamers, they're just like us. Oh no. The wrong one. I guess I was so excited about the time trial that I just didn't scroll down to the next set of instructions when I thought I did. And then I didn't think about the pattern too much because I was just concentrating on not messing up and looking like an idiot. And look at what happened. Self-fulfilling prophecy. And this goes back to what I was saying about college. I could not test for the life of me. I'm not good with tests. This was fun in concept. Execution, not so much. I don't think I'll ever go on Lego Masters. So now that this has happened to me so publicly, I'm gonna pretty much just say I'm never going on Lego Masters. It's probably not for me. Probably. Unless I could go on with somebody who's like super great builder and I could just be like their, like, go fetch me pieces and like do the bulk work kind of stuff for me. I could do that. But I need support. I definitely need support. It is hot in here. This computer's been running. It's warm. These lights are warm. It's getting kind of warm. I would turn the fan on up top, but it puts this like weird, like, it does something weird to the camera. I don't know if you've ever noticed it. But it's a little warm here in Texas. It's like it was like 90 degrees yesterday and just humid, getting sticky. It's gross. And it's only May. Mrs. Nodder's super excited about that. Okay. So now we have 3 to do next week. I should just quit. I should just quit when I started, you know. Will Arnett always needs someone to make fun of? True. True. That could be comedic relief. I just dropped them all on the floor. Good Lord. Who am Right, let's do black first. It's the most amount. I'm excited to get back into building custom stuff, though. I think that would be kind of fun. I still have to logistically figure that out, though. I hate summer with every fiber of my being. Yep. Dropped another one. I still have to logistically figure that out, though. I think it's going to need a whole collection overhaul. I think I'm going to have to go back and sort a whole bunch of stuff. Because my collection right now is sorted mainly by color and type, but then also by set, because there were some sets I just wanted to keep together. And I don't know, maybe it's time to just mix those sets in with, the general collection. But if I sort it out that way, I'm worried I'm not going to have enough room in the area that I have now. That's going to be a problem. I have a whole drawer full of instructions. And I'm realizing a lot of them I don't need to keep because you can get digital instructions anytime. But I can't bring myself to get rid of. I've finally kind of got myself to get rid of boxes after years and years. I had a whole bunch of like flattened Lego boxes under the bed. Finally bought myself to get rid of those because I knew they're not in good enough condition to like rebox and resell. I've already taken them like apart and they've been crushed. So like realistically, why am I hanging on to them? So I've been able to get myself over that. I haven't been able to get over getting rid of instructions though. Even though I know they're available digitally. But who knows? What if the apocalypse happens, right? And all of a sudden Lego and Lego instructions become the predominant currency. I'm gonna be set. I'm gonna be looking awful. I'm gonna be looking awful alpha in that scenario. I'm gonna be rich. That is an attractive proposition given the right circumstances. We have our AC on now. It's only upper 80s here, but it's really humid. Upper 80s and humid is the worst. That's the making of a hoarder. Yeah. I mean, I've gotten better at it, but we already talked about that one, Bebo. I'm going to have to program Bebo with some more lines. What if a monkey flies out of your butt? I'd wonder greatly how long that monkey was up there and what in the world was it doing up there? Because I didn't put it up there. Did I not feel it? Like if it was up there for more than a couple of seconds, like what's going on with me that I didn't feel it? I didn't think for a second to be like, it's a little uncomfy. What's going on back there? So it says more about me, really, that I allowed that to happen for so long. That I was so unobservant of my surroundings that I didn't even know. It really speaks to my mental state that sometimes things just don't occur to you in the moment, and then afterwards they seem so obvious. So obvious. But you didn't see it in the moment. You're too just caught up in your own little world. Just so self-absorbed. You didn't even see it coming. What did Zeke say the other day that you wanted to record? He's been saying, oh, nuggets. Oh, nuggets. Was it that? So, like, instead of like, oh, shoot, he's like, oh, nuggets. Throw it out. Recycle those instructions. Use that drawer to store something else. I mean, I could use it to store more Lego for sure. If that's what you're saying. I could spread out the collection a little bit more. Some of the ones I couldn't bring myself to get rid of. Some of them are like the UCS instructions have a lot of like special detail to them. But for like the smaller sets, you're probably right. I really probably don't need to keep those around. Probably. That's right. Now he's saying it again because he heard you. Oh, nuggets. Mrs. Cheese emptied a drawer containing a bunch of old PC game boxes and threw everything out so she could keep smelly candles in there. Oh no. Were these like... I mean, if they're PC boxes, they're definitely collector's items. The only PC box I have now that has survived my childhood was the TIE Fighter game. And it's in rough condition, but it exists. See, you think back to stuff like that and you think maybe I should have been just a little bit more of a hoarder. You know? I'll go ahead and take these off. Okay, so next week we'll be finishing the final 3. If I can do my speed run again for the first 3, I'll finish 40. So maybe in an hour, the first hour, we'll be finishing these 3. We're gonna call it an hour and a half just in case. See, then I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to actually put the whole thing together or not. I hope so. I would like to finish it next week. I think that's a lofty goal. I think that's a good goal. I cannot believe that I did that. I'm really putting myself behind now. All right, stacking them. We're definitely getting a little high on the stacks here. So it'll be just enough to fit underneath the PlayStation. Yep. 3 left, everybody. Okay, that's going to do it for me. Lars, are you going live? Because we will raid you if you are. If not, you know, maybe she's already live. I don't know. Let me go check. Ooh, yep, Lars is already live. Look at that. All right, we're definitely going to go raid Lars. Okay. At least it wasn't redoing something for work. Absolutely. If I had to redo something, I like to do it on my own terms. You know? Let's see what Lars is up to. What is she building? Which one is this? Oh, I remember this one. All right, so Lars is playing Brick Tales. We're 100% going to go. Let's go raid Lars. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. James Bond. I'm losing it. I'm losing my train of thought now. I'm going to go pick up all these Lego that fell on the floor. And I hope you all enjoy Lars's Brick Tales. Thank you so much for being around. Let's see. We got some off-stream follows from Kashia07 and Rain Star Sky. Thank you for the off-stream follows. I appreciate that. And thank you to you all for being here today. These are my favorite streams of the week, and it's because of you. All of you. Okay? So I hope that you have a wonderful day. Marzipan. There we go. And I'll see you again Tuesday morning. Remember, Monday, there will not be a coffee hour. I'm going to work. I'm going to the office. I got to go into the office, you know? So Monday, there won't be a coffee hour, but Tuesday there will, and finally I'll get back into Tears of the Kingdom, which I am so excited to do, and I'm sad that I haven't been able to yet. So, okay, here we go, everybody. We're going to Lars. I didn't actually cue it up yet. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend. See you Tuesday. Goodbye.